Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, welcome to the Money Making Monday live stream. Investors, where are you at? You should be rejoicing, especially you investors who is involved with the stock market. There's nowhere else to call it but rejoicing because volatility is your friend. And so many different opportunities present themselves. There's war in North Africa, Middle East, aka Israel's war, and the epic fury is not over yet. That means gas prices can go up and go down based on just a president says simply, we won. Oil prices go down. Are you trading oil? What's the offshoot? We have a lot of this to talk about and so much more. So come along for the ride and welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for information. Valuable information is here. Every live stream, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights, it's down below on the screen, the times to come join us. And also, once again, if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel as I've already asked. And please smash the like button on the way in. Give it a one piece, as I've already requested as well. That would be greatly appreciated because they try to mute us, ladies and gentlemen, because whenever you can win based on the backs of the wealthy, they don't like it. So therefore, we want you to win. Rising tide lifts all boats. Let's get it straight. So let me see who's in the house tonight because once again, the comment section is open for everybody. Everybody has a voice here. EV Place is in the house first. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline, but first, he's a member of the channel, which I humbly appreciate. Thank you so much. And he brings the tagline, good evening. He's an investor, by the way. It looks like more like an epic mistake than fury. Exactly, it's an epic mistake of unfathomable future ongoing problems. And by the way, since you brought this up, this means volatility for years to come. So I have the Candlestick Trading Bible down below in the chat room. If you want to start trading, there's a good spot to start with. Learn as much as you can before you use your real money. But those of you who know how to trade, which does take a while to learn to be proficient at it, you will win for years to come because the destabilization of our allies, NATO, the UN, is going to be repercussions for decades. This is what happens. I just got to say it. This is what happens when you decide to have a trust fund rich kid, pedo draft dodger running your military with other people who were booted out of the military and were not in combat. And you have another trust fund kid that's known as a brother in law running around the Middle East talking to countries. What type of respect do you think you would have if that's who's coming to see you? Talking about, hey, let's do something. I'd be like, dude, you just tried to kill me. You tried to kill my people. You bringing your brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and all this other crap. Have you lost your freaking, and you've been talking mess about me for the last 10 years? And now you want my help? Let's get real. Investors rejoice because there is no way people are going to act like the GOP presidential candidates when a candidate, a trust fund kid, is talking smack about your family and now you're all good and friends. Rubio, that Texas Javier clown, not Rubio, he's the Florida clown. I'm talking about the one in Texas. You know, they were presidential candidates at late night, and one doofus gets on stage and talks about you and your family, about your wife, and you got nerve to show up and shake the dude's hand and work in his administration and vote for his BS. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, investors rejoice because the rest of the world, they ain't weak like you. They ain't weak. All this bravado, you found out Epic Fury ain't that. All that bravado, the rest of the world sitting back like, and now our allies in the Middle East, who the United States simply said, hey, you don't need any military. We'll allow our bases in your country, right? It's okay. And we'll get your oil. Everything's good. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. You can't be all weak out here. This is pathetic. Now they done found out all it was smoke and mirrors. Their country's getting bombed. And they're sitting there like this whole time we thought we were safe under the protection by allowing you to have military bases here. And oh my, somebody says, check, because we're going to bomb your friends. In fact, we're going to bomb their country and take out some of your military bases and kill some of your soldiers. And you're going to sit there and spend $1 billion a day, and you're going to send $1 million missiles to take down our $50, $100 drones. This is like comedy in motion right now. But what do you expect? Because remember, the draft dodger is listening to people that were booted out of the military. They're not generals. They never saw combat. They've never been in a war room. This is why our buddies out there golfing on the weekends while there's a war. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. This is opportunity for you, and I'm here for it. I love this. This is what I'm built for. When they do this BS stuff, you need to take advantage, because after they take advantage, they're going to be looking to take advantage of your tax money, your bank accounts, your brokerage accounts. A whole lot of things are going to be in jeopardy, as well as your voting, your rights. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Again, DIM Pals, another person over here doing this all day long, all week long, because he's a stock market trader. Again, Candlestick Trading Bible. It's in the chat room. And if you still don't have a brokerage account, Robinhood, Webull, Moo, all in the chat room as well. And since we're getting views from other platforms, yeah, damn right, I put it in your chat room as well, because we're an equal opportunist. We can't have people out here losing. You can't go down with the ship just because some rich dudes think it's all good. No, we're taking advantage, and I'm all here for it. And I'm trying to help you guys get all here for it. And I want you guys to win. After hours in the futures market, they are down, all three indexes in the United States for now. But you know what they do. The stock market is built to go up. So you know what they're going to do. They have to keep playing around, manipulating it. So now we're going to hear, hey, everything's going to be fine. We have insurance through the Straits of Hormuz. But let me ask you guys something. From a strategic standpoint, if I'm a country that, by the way, in case you guys don't understand how much these tankers cost to build, anywhere from 40 million. And if it has gas, well, first of all, if it has gas, oil, $40 million to $125 million per tanker. So let me ask you something. If a country such as the United States calls you up and says, hey, man, we're going to protect you through the Straits of Hormuz, Iran can bomb your tanker. Are you willing to risk, after you've seen how well they've been protecting these other countries where they have military bases, are you going to be stupid enough to go, oh, yeah, we're going to sign up? Yeah, lead us through the Straits of Hormuz. Like, what? Have you lost your freaking mind right now? Are you going to pay the 125 million to get us a new tanker and the lives of the people that were on board, which you guys don't seem to want to get after you get bombed? So, yeah, right. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. What are we talking about out here? Are there any adults in the room? In fact, don't let me get off track. DIM Pals, thank you so much for being in the house. Another investor's here. He says his tagline, good evening. Keep buying nonstop. I agree with his projection right here. The stock market's going up, going down, going up, going down. There's also every index is going up, going down. If you want to be in commodities, up and down. If you want to be in computers, up and down, because everything is related. Transportation, up and down. It's all related. Right now, where we are, the Middle East is a powder keg of epic proportions. And it's going as planned because the rest of the world has now seen all that might that makes right has now turned into incompetency. They're sitting there like, we thought these dudes could stop anything within a matter of days. They can't even handle Iran with the help of Israel. Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what you look like out here? Trust me, if you were playing a game of Stratego, I think it would already be over. Okay? And I'm waiting. You want to know what's really funny? China and Russia is just sitting back like, look at these fools spinning. How many missiles did they shoot off today? How much are they spending a day? $1 billion to $2 billion a day. Aren't these guys broke? Yeah, we better sell some of our treasuries because they're broke. They can't even pay for this. And their citizens are already taxed up to here. 80% of the citizens are already living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, how is this going to end for anybody? Our allies are looking at us sideways like, you guys didn't even consult us? And they can't print money when the oil price is that high. Exactly, EV Place. Talk to them now. Talk to them, EV Place. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something else. Remember 2 years, 9 months ago, the SSN Nation Way, in case you're new here and don't know, we have a standard. We said, get yourself a bank account outside of the United States, number one. Number two, get real estate or a business outside of the United States. Number three, get your credit score to 775. Because when you're tapped out, there's only one thing you can do: sell your assets, no, or get loans and repay your loans, but your assets should be paying you something. And therefore, if you are tapped almost, you need to reduce your debt like yesterday because we need you to have a 775 credit score. All right? How do you do that? Let's get to the thing. Is first things first, if you need help out there, get findhelp.org if you're in the United States. Findhelp.org. Our man Matthew Lesko came on almost a year, maybe a year and 3 months ago. He gave us that little gem. I've been telling people, I've been helping people for decades, and I've never heard of findhelp.org. You put in your zip code, there's nonprofits that the federal government and state government gives money to that's supposed to help American citizens. not suppose, they do help American citizens. So go out there and get your findhelp.org. Now, back to your debt situation. Some of you are sitting out there going, Eric, I'm not rich. I can't pay somebody to do all this, that, and the other to get my credit like the rich and wealthy do. No, it's all right. We got your back here. That's why we tell you, email our girl Tracy. She does debt consolidation so you don't have to, or debt restructuring so you don't have to file bankruptcy. You don't have to get into debt collections and mess up your credit score. You have somebody on your side that loves to help people. You know, she loves the mantra, ladies and gentlemen, the SSN Nation mantra, helping others so the rising tide can go the way of the ordinary citizens, the OCs. That's right. OCs, that is a thing. That's my thing. In fact, one of these days, I got to make a t shirt about the OCs. Okay. I have never made a t shirt for the OCs, even though I'm wearing Nobody's Coming to Save You. Come on now. Everybody watching in the chat room and on replay, make sure you hit the first comment section if you don't see the live chat open up. And then you swipe left or swipe right, and they'll give you choices if you're on mobile to open up the live chat. So make sure you do that. And oh, I messed up today because I did not. We might not have live chat running because now they don't check the box automatically. And I didn't go into the back office. Eeks. That's not good. And there's no trailer to see because, again, I put in the trailer and nobody's seen a trailer, which is sad. But it's okay. So let's go with the Tracy situation. Text her, email her rather. It's email. Let her know you're from SSN Nation. All right. Let her know you're part of the family. That's how you get your credit in order. So then if you get a high credit score, you're going to want that 0%, not only for 12 months, you want 0% for 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. And I predict a 36 month is going to come. We got about 4 or 5 months. That's my prediction. We'll see what happens. Okay. Because it's going to get tight. Private credit's going to get tight. So what they're going to do is they're going to eliminate everybody, not eliminate people with lower credit scores. They're going to give like they're doing right now. Ultimately, when people default, because the bad credit people are probably going to, they're going to default first because they're already barely making it, right? So then they're going to have to offer people with great credit, the ones who pay on time, they're going to make sure they offer them, well, a reason to get the credit. So that's why you want that 775 or higher. All right. So that's the first things first. Hopefully we've got you on the right track. But call Tracy. She will get, it takes you 1 year, 1.5, 2 years generally. She has to see your credits and all that, but that's what it takes. And at the end of that time, you will be in good standing and your score will go up significantly instead of sitting there going, oh man, I'm living 80% paycheck to paycheck. I'm part of that. And all of a sudden now I got issues. What if it freed up $100, $150, $200 per month? That gives you an opportunity to make investments, right? Just think about it. Let's see what else we got going on because EV Place, he's so far is on it. Oh, and Russian oil became cool again. Sanctions released. See again, ladies and gentlemen, how is it that sanctions get removed by the draft dodger and you're going to tell me he's not like a Russian puppet? Why would you allow Russia to get money freely, allowing India, which 80% of their oil they need, 80% of their country needs oil. So now you say, it's okay, India, you can buy from Russia because, our supply, we can't really get any because, this war thing we did. Now you're letting Putin off the hook. So now people can go get oil from Russia freely. This is very bad, ladies and gentlemen, because first of all, India, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and others are in BRICS. So if you don't need US dollars to buy oil, you have reduced the demand of the US dollar. Do you understand that is not good? Which means volatility, ladies and gentlemen. Investors rejoice. What part aren't you getting? It's a circle jerk. Rig the game in our favor, ladies and gentlemen. It's temporary. The window's going to close. They're not doing this on purpose. We have the trust fund kid in charge. He's allowed an opening. Ordinary citizens, you should not be sitting on the sideline thinking that it's going to be Armageddon. The stock market going down, you stock market trade, or you figure out you can use a VIX product. You VIX means if the market goes down, the stock price in VIX goes up. All right, like UVXY, for instance, is a VIX product, right? So then they have leverage where it's 2x, 3x leverage. But see, again, if the stock market goes up, which it will, it'll go up and it'll go down. That means if it goes up, then that means your stock price goes down drastically if you try to do this leverage of 2x, 3x or more. But you have to understand the dynamics. If you understand the stocks could dip and drop significantly and you pick a VIX for the day and it goes up 10%, you're going to be like, woo, you'll be happy. But you have to pay close attention because of the news. Simply by saying that this was all over, the oil prices came down. Then people said, no, it's not really over because is Netanyahu even alive? Okay, we don't know. But this little sanction release, that allows Russia to help Iran, Russia to go against our NATO ally, Ukraine, which, by the way, if you really think about it, remember the United States said, hey, Ukraine, get rid of your nukes. We're going to protect you. So just, the United States, well, okay, this regime right now is like Putin says whatever Putin has, he should be able to keep. Ukraine's like, wait, what? No. Do you really think the rest of the world watching that and seeing what's happened in the Gulf, that they're going to be like, you're going to protect us? I think that day is over. What do you think? You surely can't be weak like Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio when they talk crap about your family and you're like, we're buddies? No, I don't think so. Let's just put it in perspective. If somebody's sitting there on national TV saying your wife is ugly, your parents are traitors, this, that, and the other, your grandfather is from Cuba, and all this stuff, you're going to be like, we're buddies? I don't think so. But when you have weak people out here, of course, and they're calling other people weak. How pathetic. And then they do this in a wartime situation, getting United States soldiers killed. Now they send another 2,200 Marines to the Middle East to do what? You can't be serious that you're going to post up in Oman or where are you posting up at? Saudi Arabia? You're going to already get bombed. The mountains of Iran is higher than your position. I'm not following their logic if they plan on trying to somehow get on shore and take over. This is not going to happen. This Normandy thing ain't happening. Not with 2,200. You're going to need more than that. In fact, you're going to need help from the world. The world says, we're on pause right now. You did not consult us. You didn't talk to us. You didn't even say, give us a heads up. You and Israel are both war criminals. You guys decided to do it on your own. So, hey, have at it. Do it on your own. Why are we going to waste billions of dollars? Are we going to? Why? Iran's not attacking us. We were all good with the Iran nuclear deal. We were checking on them to make sure all was good. You guys decided to back out and then lie about them having all this stuff and then attack them. And now you want us to jump in and save your ass after you said we don't need you? Come on, after you disrespect us for 10 years, after you clown us when we have meetings and you shove and push people out of the way, laugh at people, mock people, leaders of other countries, and kidnap a leader and kill another leader. Oh yeah. We're gonna come to your aid and rescue now. Come on, you're looking like freaking Germany 1930 right now. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Loper, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And by the way, Loper, life is for learning. Remember this and learn from life. That's right. Think about all the players who died and sacrificed. You're damn right out here. That's what I'm talking about. Think about all the people that sacrificed for this great country. Think about all the people that sacrificed who came home. And then look what the government did. Even to this day, you have veterans out here sleeping in the streets, but we're out here spending $2 billion for what exactly? Oil was around $60 a barrel. Yeah, that's on the cusp of where we have our oil companies run out of business. Yes, I get it. But now the turnaround is, would you rather have higher prices, which is what's going to happen at $90 a barrel? That means transportation cost to deliver, which now means the delivery cost is higher. So therefore, the people receiving has to pay more. It's very simple. This is economics 101. But the point is, all the players that died and sacrificed, and I got a draft dodger out here that don't give a damn and lying to the American people when we have service members getting their bases blown up and you're going, oh yeah, only 10 people died, injured. What type of nonsensory is this? If this was so good, you wouldn't have countries like Italy and Spain going, you can't use our bases. You think we want to be marks for you guys after you done disrespected our leaders? What are you doing out here, America? Buffoonery. Anyhow, I think about this every day. That's why it's despicable that we have a draft dodger over here telling people to go through their lives and then goes, it's part of war. 5-time draft dodger goes, it's part of war. Man, let me slap somebody upside their head. Come on, man. That's the most disrespect I've ever heard from to our military. Come on. This is absurd right now. And then you got some dude talking about Secretary of War who also is a weakling shoved out of the military. Again, I mean, this is if so, how can you write this? Who in their right mind would be like, it's okay? I bet Poland will send their only one submarine to Hormuz to solve the situation. he plays. He's on it. He's on it. The only country that spends $1 trillion in the military industrial complex is America. All the rest of the countries, the next 10 in a row, combined spend less for the military industrial complex. The industrial complex was built that the United States policed the world because they're, grabbing natural resources and all this, right? So the problem starts coming in where you now have the draft dodger running around talking about, hey, you other countries, you need to put more money into NATO, right? Isn't that what he said? Everybody agreed to up their stake 2%, 3%, 5%, whatever the case. They agreed based on their GDP. That was what it was based on. It was based on your GDP. Then you have draft dodger going, no, man, you need to add more money. And F you if you can't. Now I need help in the Straits of Hormuz. The rest of the world's looking at it like, dude. And now he says NATO is no good. America is NATO. Do you know what the NATO members are sitting there looking at? Did you just really say America is NATO? What is this dude talking? The rest of the world knows he's a draft dodger. Let's get real. I mean, I would be like, dude, uh, you're on your own. Trump to the edge of panic says, Tay, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Draft dodgers always at panic. And by the way, Iran, Tay, again, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Very happy to see you once again. Thank you so much for the comment. You know what's so funny is that Trump is out here talking all this garbage on behalf of us. That's the worst part. All this stuff, some people could say that since he's the supreme leader, that the American people are all good with this. And the American people, I hope you guys realize America's broke. So where do you think the replenishment of money to pay for all of these billions of dollars a day is going to come from? I mean, come on, we can't be this ridiculous. I know people here in the SSN Nation know where the money's coming from. It's going to be coming out of your tax dollars. It's going to become it's going to come out of losses such as veterans, you can't get help. Healthcare, oh no, we can't have healthcare for all. College, oh, it's just going to cost you more money, or we don't even care about college no more because we want you dumber. We don't want you to be leaders of the free world. We want you to be like a trust fund kid. DEI, didn't earn nothing. That's what we want. We want you to be exceptional because it's handed to you. You have a leg up. You don't have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And so then when you're in power, you can tell everybody else, pull yourself up by the bootstraps and pull the ladder up too. Like Clarence Thomas, pull the ladder up. I got in, but now I got to shut you down. We can't have this. He's going to be on the edge of panic because what happened is the rest of the world called his bluff. They finally said, enough's enough. You guys didn't even consult us. You don't even want to talk to us. You're talking down to us like, oh, if you're not in it, then the rest of the world goes. Bye, spy. Let me ask you something right now. Do you guys understand that Russia only spends like $29 billion or something? I don't even know what their number really is on their military. America's been running this boogeyman game with Russia for the last 75 years. Russia ain't it. Come on. Let's get real. The fact is, look what happened at Ukraine. They can't even do nothing with Ukraine. And so now Europe is like, ooh, we're scared of Russia. Come on, give me a break with this nonsense. The only people scared of Russia is people in America. Everybody else is like, they can attack us. They're going to attack Ukraine because Ukraine is next door. And just like how America said we don't want missiles at Cuba because it's next door, well, Russia's the same way with Ukraine. But Vladimir Putin has another alternative. He goes, I want to put back the Soviet Union, the USSR. So that means Ukraine, Poland, Yugoslavia, and all the rest. So once he goes through Ukraine, he's covering 3 borders of NATO allies, which, by the way, the punk asses in the EU zone, remember, they're descendants of the Drumps. Remember, EU's almost no better. They're weaklings as well, because the bottom line of the story is, from a strategic standpoint, the EU should have been the first ones that said, oh, Vladimir, hold on, man. We cool with you when we meet you in the meetings. We shake your hand. We smile in your face. But come on, man. You do understand our position here. You take over Ukraine, you're bordering 3 NATO countries, and we think you're coming after them after you take Ukraine out. Because the US ain't really rocking with us like that. So we got to do something, man. We can't just let you do this. Instead of giving Ukraine some weaponry and a little bit of money and all that, they should have all been all in. This is a fatal mistake that they made with Hitler, when they all said, well, USSR was actually friends with Hitler. And then Hitler did what the United States and Israel just did to Iran. He's in negotiations said we're going to be friends. And then he attacked them. That's the only reason the USSR was against them. But at first, we all good. Then he attacked them and they were like, hold on, man. This dude done lost his mind. We got to go get these dudes. And yeah, we're going to run through. And since we have Poland, Czechoslovakia, Ukraine, and all this, all you guys mount up. We coming east. We got to get to Germany before the United States does because these guys got weaponry. We might want to get these scientists before the West does. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying, you got to know history out here. Who said something about history? Was Loper? Remember this and learn from life. Exactly. Got to learn, ladies and gentlemen, what's going down. I bet Poland will send their only submarine. Yeah, exactly. No, you know what Poland did? Poland sent their Jews to what we now know as Israel. Yeah, the fake Jews, not the ones from the Bible. That's right. What is anybody want to know? Anybody know Netanyahu's name? His grandfather, his father's real name? Isn't it like Milovsky or some crap? That's right. They changed their name. That's why they won't allow DNAs. Come on, man. Better know who the enemy is before they show up. All right. Wow. The algorithm knows what I like. New sub. Good evening, folks. Keep buying your freedom. T Washington 9983. My man. Investors rejoice. He done said it well, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly. Buy your freedom. Instead of buying those liabilities out here, you know how they got you guys all twisted up. I'm going to tell everybody who's watching this because they don't usually give us anybody like under 25, but I don't mind because we're in the mix. But if you're under 30, 20, well, first of all, let's get to the number. The average age of first time home buyers is at a record high 40 years old. That is a good thing. The only reason I'm going to say that's a good thing is because if anybody's watching this under 40 and you've never been able to buy a house, never fear because that's not the move. Here's your first move. FHA loan. I call it 4% because that's what it's going to cost you. 550 credit score and up. The good news so far, right? But, ladies and gentlemen, where you get it all twisted is you go and buy a freaking 1 unit home or condo or townhouse. You shoot your bullet and now you have a liability. You owe every month when you could have bought a twoplex, a threeplex, or a fourplex and rent out the other units with the same credit score, with the same down payment percentage. And now, guess what? You have an asset that appreciates and you have money coming in to pay for this liability. And it goes up in price just like your renter's annual rental fee goes up every year. And since it's going to then be commercial, a simple $50 a year or $100, or in this case, maybe $150 more per month adds to the value, the new value you created, and the appreciation value has now gone up even more. Then you get to turn around and you have options. Either one, you keep it, you rehab it, keep it, appreciation prices keep going up. Eventually, you borrow against it to get another property. Now, all of a sudden, you have assets that you can borrow against, and you have assets that's going to pay for wherever you want to live. And money's coming in every month for the rest of your life. But see, they don't want you to know this when you're in your early 20s. They want you to work 40 years, get a pension, stress, work overtime, deal with numbskulls as managers, executive staff, stressing you out your whole existence in the workplace. Some of you may have a great job, but there's always stress. Stress. You know what stress really is? I got to be somewhere at 8 a.m. in the morning. That means my alarm clock, I got to set it. My alarm clock doesn't go off or I don't wake up on time. I'm stressed that I got to make it on time. I might be fired. What are they going to say when I get there? And then you get there, they go, hey, okay, you're late, you're good. But you're still going to stress because they're going to use your late time or when you're not there on time against you if they want to fire you. Let's just get real out here. Jobs that are livable wage jobs, they're going bye bye. So now they get to choose who they want to be in their employment. So keep that in mind. I love it, T. Washington. Thank you so much for mentioning that. I'm glad I'm in the algorithm. I'm glad I'm out there. And again, this is awesome because we're on several different platforms. So we started the Money Ladder. We started the Candlestick Trading Bible for stock trading. We started with also Webull, Robinhood, and all that. Let me get to that because once again, you guys got to rejoice out here. Let me get to okay. There's a few things I'm skipping around only because here goes crypto. Get your unstoppable domain and forget about the UMAX ETFs at this moment. All right, they're too volatile. But here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I got something here. Judah Barak. You don't have to be a Democrat, man. You can be independent. You can even be GOP. You can even be Republican. Now, if you want to rock with the weakness, that's fine. You want to rock with no health care for all, that's fine. You want to rock with lower education standards so the mediocre dudes can feel good about themselves, so be it. But that's the country you're going to be in. Fine. Just like right now, you got dumbasses making decisions that's running the country because you guys decided that it's all right to have a mediocre dude. You don't want somebody with economics degrees. You don't want nobody with, skill sets. That's too progressive because you don't get health care for all now. You don't get the Epstein files. You don't get nothing. Oh, wait, hold on. You get it. Hey, you get to arrest brown people and black people and hold them in detention. And you can beat them, rape them, do all that stuff. Shoot them, kill them. It's all good, right? Come on, man. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. I will never be a Democrat. Sorry, Eric. It's okay, man. I'm not saying you have to be a Democrat, but you got to be a good human. So if I tell you I want health care for all, in fact, I want nobody to pay higher taxes if you earn $400,000 or less. And I want to revoke your student loans so we can give the younger generation a chance because we know after you graduated, guess what's happened, ladies and gentlemen? You have a degree that might have cost you 50,000, 60,000, 100,000, but the degree means no guaranteed job. And since there's job losses, now people who have degrees have to take any job they can. So now you have people who have degrees. This ain't 1950, 60, 70, 80. When you had a degree and that meant you were going to make tens of thousands of dollars more over the next 20 years than a person that did not go to college. Them days are over. So if you know those days are over, common sense says, yeah, instead of canceling the PPP loans for the rich guys, how come we can't cancel the loans for the not so rich people? I know it's a novel idea. I know the GOP won. They got the PPP loans canceled. Oh, and by the way, when they got the PPP loans canceled, did any of the states go, hey, man, you got to pay taxes on it? Because now that's income? No. The GOP goes, oh, the states that are run by GOP, they said, oh, no, people in our state, if you get your student loans canceled, you're going to have to pay tax on that. And I'm like, hold up, man. 85% of the PPP loans went to the wealthiest. How come you didn't say they had to pay tax to you? Hold up. Wait a minute. So yeah, I'm on the side that says, hey man, wipe off the ordinary citizen stuff too. Just saying. All right. You can rock with whoever you want to rock with. But like I said, you don't have to be a Democrat. You just have to be a good human. Me either, says Kevin Globe. It's all right. You can rock with whoever you want to rock with. But when you have your rights revoked and your ancestors had to work and live and die for the rights that you have, and then you're on the side that says we're trying to take away those rights, I question, why are you down with the side that wants to take away rights that your grandparents and your parents fought for? If you're a person of color, you fought for civil rights. People died for the civil rights. People died to stop Jim Crow. Just because you don't live in it now, you don't get to sit there and be like, oh yeah, I like the guys that are trying to bring it back. You can rock with them if you want. I'm not going to rock with them. They're my enemy. By the way, you guys don't even know who I am, but welcome again, Kevin Globe, me either. I am the guy that you guys only now know about here on social media platforms, where a government actually goes after people. When state government goes after people, when there was no social media, when everybody goes, oh man, that don't happen to nobody. You got to be lying. You must have did something. Yeah, you know what I did, what I'm doing right now, helping people legally. Come on, man. Market gave it up today. TC, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Market gave it up. Market's going to be giving it up every day. There's going to be something in the market that's going to be having gyrations that are enormous, not just little upticks, major upticks. So if you learn how to do stock market trading, that's it. But just get back to the real estate game. The real estate game is twisted. So some people go, Eric, when did you have? We used to have people always ask me, they know now. They used to go, Eric, when's the last time you had a W 2 job? I'm like, 30 years ago. Because when I was younger, we knew the game. I knew the game. A lot of people don't. They were my friends used to be like, I got to go buy a house. I got to go buy a condo. I'm like, why? I don't understand. They're like, well, if I rent, that money could be going for a mortgage. I tried to explain to them. I said, well, if you rent, uh, you just pay a number every month. If you buy a home, since you have a 30-year mortgage most of the time, most of that is going to interest anyhow. So is there really a difference? They go, yes, it's because it goes up in value. I said, yes, but you're paying for it to go up in value, because if 100% of the money I'm paying does not reduce the balance, because let's just straight, I should bring it up. Market gave it up today. I'll bring it up since we're talking about this. All right. Let me, in case we have new people here, I have to show you this. In fact, Google changed their this is Google changed their mortgage calculator. I'm just gonna see if I can pull up. They changed their mortgage calculator. It doesn't even come up anymore. And it's hilarious because the mortgage calculator used to show how much you pay, right? Including your interest. So now I'm going to bring up a mortgage calculator. This is for everybody since we're talking about making money and all that. This is why I don't subscribe to the same rules that most people do, because once you understand, the whole reason is, remember, rich people tell you something so they can get richer. So when I have Elon Musk out here, when I have a David Lee out here, when I have a Trump out here, when I have all these rich dudes saying, hey man, do this, you should raise an eyebrow and be like, why are they telling me to buy a house when I could have gotten the same loan in an FHA and bought me a duplex, triplex, or quadplex? And then I wouldn't even be sweating because I'd be making money for the time I knew about it. They're not going to tell you that. Okay, that's the first thing. Let me get this on screen. I got to get this up. Let's go. Check this out. Let's go with the average price of a home right now is 429,000, right? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go with okay, we'll do 80%. That's fine. We'll do 20%. No, we're not going to do 20% down. We'll do 43,000. We'll do 10% down, all right? Okay. Interest rate I don't know about this 5.98, but all right, let's go. Let's rock with that then. Fine. Um Property tax 3,000 a year. Good luck with that. Home insurance. What is this 1,500 a year? Hey, anybody out here paying 1,500 a year for their home for annual insurance? Please let us know what state you live in. Please, please let us know what state you live in. Or well, we can guess already. But nonetheless, we can guess already. All right, let's go. We have lady. Oh, we found one. Let's see. We have okay. I got to recalculate this because they're not okay. Calculation. This is not a refi. That's why. That's why it was 5.98. How cute. But either way, I'm going to leave it at 5.98. All right. I don't really care because this still is going to show you exactly what time it is. Look at this right here. See this? See these principal amounts? Look. You guys can see this, right? Let's see. Taxes and fees. You're going to be paying no, 5608.33 a month. Yikes. Interest 19,000. Principal 3,000. Okay, there we go. 39.45. That's probably right. Balance 382. Okay, so we got principal. I can't even I need markers for this because I don't usually use this. But if this is well, hold on a second. We'll go to something else. I'm gonna go over here. Here we go. 2845 payment with PMI. 2684.30 after 88 months. It goes down, right? Because with PMI is when you only put down 10%. Usually you got to do the PMI. If you put down 20%, you don't have PMI that lowers your payment. But nonetheless, there you go. I love this. They're doing it. I got to keep these guys up. Mortgagecalculator.org. This is good. $160 a month right here is your PMI because you put down 10%, just so you know. So anyhow, does not really matter. So total PMI to July 2033 is $14,000. Okay, down payment 10%, 43,000. Total interest paid. How much did you pay for the house? 429,000. You guys see this? See that? Total interest paid. Does this say 980,000 after your 30-year payments? Is that not double and then some? Who do you think is going to be telling you to get loans? The banks, the mortgage companies. They're like, hell yeah, let's get that loan to these people. We don't even care if they have a 550 credit score no more. We don't even care if they have a 600 credit score because you see, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're new here, derivatives matter because they get to wave around a paper of $429,000 or 360, but we'll stick with the 429 just to make it easy. 429, and oh my, we have 100 homes. These pieces of paper are worth $4 million. But is it really? Or is it really worth 80 million? So who will give me $25 million for buying this paper, these mortgages? Come on, Wall Street. Wall Street says, I'll take it. I'll bundle it together with our other ones. I'll take it. Here's 25 million because ultimately it's this number down here. $980,000 per. Wait a minute. That's over $100 million we're about to get off of this. Hell yeah, we'll give you 25 million or 20 million, whatever. But nonetheless, I hope this, and by the way, see this number right here, $45,000 in home insurance. You guys do realize insurance rates go up every year, right? This is a stat number 125. This is going to be more than that in the near future because you live in a broke country. You live in a country where the insurance companies aren't going to insure risky people. So therefore, they're going to insure the non-risky people, and the non-risky people are going to pay more money. They have to offset the other people they're not going to insure. So that means your insurance prices are going to keep going up every year, just like your property taxes are. Come on. So this isn't even a static numbers. These are if they kept the same. This is going to be over $1 million, just so you guys know. So let me ask you something. If you're a rich dude and a banker and a person that does mortgages, people that own banks, what would you tell the general public? Please don't say you would not say that there's not that you're not going to be offering loans. You'd be telling people, hey man, buying a house, why would you rent? Because you need flexibility. That's why. All right. Market gave up today. Yep. We'll keep going. Got a new property tax bill, a 30% increase year to year. Put your seatbelts on. Exactly. It's only going to get worse for all my I don't want to be a Democrat personnel, because you guys on the other side of the fence, well, whether you're independent or GOP side, you're still rocking with GOP side. So that means you are the ones that said, I don't really care about increases. In fact, we don't even care about our taxes for state. So if you don't have taxes in your state, then they have to utilize something else. Your property taxes have to rise. Because where else are they going to get the money from? Otherwise, they have to implement higher state tax, because there's some states that have zero income tax, like Florida. And then some have lower state taxes, but on the other side of the fence, they have to charge more for property tax. So it's either way you're going to pay. And the difference between the two is your property tax bill, you don't pay that. In most of the states, if you don't pay it in 1 year or 2 years, they put your tax bill up for sale under the tax sales. People buy your tax sales based on the state you're in. They allow you 3%, 4%. I've never heard of 7 or 8, but 3, 4, 5% annually to get back or get that tax lien off by paying the person that bought your taxes. You pay them plus 3, 4, 5%, depending on the state, and you get that cleared. But if you don't pay that, sometimes within 1 year or 2 years, guess what? They get to come down and say, I want to foreclose or attach a lien. Sometimes the dirty guys go, I want to foreclose. Right. Think about that. So when you say no biggie on property tax bills going up, hold on tight. What do you really own? Pay attention out here, ladies and gentlemen. So when you don't want the rich guys to pay their fair share because you bought into what the rich guys say, oh, we're not going to build factories. Guess what? If you don't build factories, you ain't going to be a rich guy. If you don't have businesses, you won't be a rich guy. Simple as that. So how are you threatening? Again, they can threaten everybody, not me. I'm like, okay, go for it. Start laying people off. Go for it. You won't have people working at your businesses. So what? You're going to do it by yourself? That will not go over well for you. So either pay or S the F up. Simple. But Americans are so scared, right? They believe rich people. The rich guy has a different agenda. He says, I'm not going to build factories. I'm not going to do this unless you give me free land, unless you give me taxes for 20 years that I don't have to pay, and your citizens are going to pay my fair share of taxes. Oh, I'm going to get tax cuts and tax breaks because now I can go out here and buy yachts and cars and property and real estate and do all this stuff. They don't create jobs. Have you noticed? No tax cut, tax rate bill increases jobs. What it does increase is these guys going out here buying more buildings, more homes. They're not sitting there going, oh, yeah, that's going to create another 2 million jobs this year because we're going to bring out factories because they can't pay people in America livable wage jobs. That's why they have to go outside of the United States where wages are lower. But yet we got people still believing this after the trickle down from 1980 on. They believe if you give the rich tax cuts and tax breaks, that automatically means jobs. But these same companies and same people are going to your government, your city, your county, your state and going, hey, can I get a free HQ headquarters? Sure. Give you free land? Great. 10-year, 20-year tax deferment or no taxes at all? Because you know you're going to promise us you're going to bring us 10,000 jobs. You're going to promise us you're going to bring 5,000 jobs after they get their buildings, streets, land. They're there. They started off, we're employing 1,500. Remember, we told you we'll get to 5,000, but we starting it off with 1,500. We'll expand later. Meanwhile, guess who's paying their fair share of taxes? Homeowner. Damn. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Get with the program. How tall are you, man? Oh, like 6'2". That's it. Not 6'7", not 6'8", 6'2". But by the way, you know what? Can you believe there's actual numbers based on how tall a person is and a percentage? Did you know 6'5" and 6'7" and 6'8"? It's like single digits for the whole world. It's crazy. I did not know that. But anyhow, that's it, man. Just 6'2", Larry XO, Will XO. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. All right, let's go. Investors rejoice. That's the name of this one. Rig game is in our favor. It's always been in our favor, but you guys keep listening to these trust fund dudes, these rich dudes. The rich dudes invest with your money. The rich dudes invest. I told you guys, you got it. Okay, let's just, in case you're new here, I'll make it simple for you. I had a policy from the time I was in my, probably 1920. I've told this before. My policy was wherever the rich guys are investing, that's where I'm going to be. So I told you, what do they sell? Automobile industry. You might want to be in the automobile industry, right? They buy real estate. You might want to be in real estate. Just saying. They buy stocks. You might want to be in the stock market, right? And they create businesses, right? Offshoot of business. What type of businesses? Right now, if you're in the chip business, okay, you can't make chips. Got it. But you can be in the computer business. You can write code. You might be able to make apps. That's business. Just saying. Skill sets matter. But see, they're able to purchase through wage somebody to do it. You might not be able to, so you might have to learn the skill set to save you some money. Learn for 9 to 12 months, make money for life. Fish. Now you can fish for life. Get some real estate. Get it where it comes in passively. Fish for life. But they want you to own something that puts you behind the eight ball, because once you have the house that you have a loan for, guess what? Now all of a sudden that counts against you for getting another loan of any significant value. That's why they want you to get a house first, when in fact, if you had the real estate first, Now you use that as collateral. In fact, you might not even need the money out of pocket for the down payment. Just saying. They don't want to tell you all that, right? They want you to lock down because now they know you're locked in. There's no way out. It's harder to come out after you owe all this money. And it blocks you from being able to go get some other loan when they sit there and go, oh, yeah, we're going to give you 35 to 40% debt to income ratio to pay for this house. You're like, oh, yes, this beautiful house that I love. You're locked because what they didn't tell you is your property taxes and your insurance are not part of that 35, 40%. So now you're giving up 50% of your income to live in a house. And now you can't borrow. That's right. You're out the commercial space. Sorry. And that next home you want to get, you can't own too because you've already given up 50% of your loan to income. And let's just face facts, everybody has credit cards, right? So they're going to use your credit card. You want to be balling, you got the car that's on loan too, looking sharp. Sorry, you can't buy anything else commercial wise, which the rich guys have. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, getting assets that pay you to begin with is the move. So are all the youngsters. Just because you can't buy a house, you should be thankful. You should be out here looking for real estate, duplex, triplex, fourplex, FHA loan, 600 credit score, you're in. 575, you're in. 680, let's just put it 575 and up. You can do it. That's your first move. You have rental money coming in, even if it's few, 400 or 500 bucks. You can live in one of the units because you do have to live there for a year. These are your moves. And guess what? Because the market is volatile, investors rejoice because now job losses, people have to give up their homes, give up their properties because let's face facts, not everybody's a smart investor. I've seen people talking smack on YouTube and social media talking about I bought property and they're gleaning happy with $100 per month profit. I'm like, who taught this person to do it? We do not do that. Do not do that. You better, any investment, you act like an investment. You better not be talking about, oh, yeah, I get $100 a month profit. Ladies and gentlemen, you better find yourself closer to 10. You can live with 9 or 8, but do not do this nonsense you see all these YouTubers doing. You're going to be in the disaster zone because guess what happens? Insurance, property taxes are going to be going up more than that. So now you're going to be paying to keep it. Come on, not don't buy property for the sake of property. All right. Okay. Here we go. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Joshua Tree. Eric, when did you become a millionaire? Let's see. The government came after me. 27, 27, 28. You want to know why? Because I had business, I had real estate, and I had income coming in from my real estate. And because I had a skill set, I actually had to work somewhere because I was like, what if my dream and I don't have any resume because I was only like 23, 24 when I was doing it, right? So I said, you know what? What if, what if? So I better have some resume just in case everything doesn't work out as planned. So I better have a resume so in case I have to work somewhere. I almost didn't make it because when I was 19, I was in the ATL. And since I was there, a guy says, hey, you want to learn about financial? There was an ad in the paper or something. You want to be in the Wall Street and all this, right? So I was like always wanting to do Wall Street. So I said, let me go down here and talk to this guy. So I go to his office and we talk and he's talking to me and I'm already telling him, because I already have a company and everything, but that's not really that impressive. But the fact is, I have a company, so I'm already doing this. I already talking to him. We're talking real estate. He's like, "Hey, you know anything about insurance?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have to insure my property. I have to do this." He's like, "What? You're only like you're like 19. What do you seriously?" I was like, "Yeah, just I had to start somewhere." And he's like, "Well, what we do is we help people. It's almost like financial planning, insurance, all this stuff. And you had to get your series licensing and all this, that, and the other." He's like, "Oh my God, you should do this. Because by the time you're like 25 years old," he's doing all this stuff. And then he says, of course, the number one stuff starts coming up. It costs to do this, it costs to do that. He goes, "But no, we're going to pay for you to go through your classes and processes so you'll have the licenses and all this, that, and the other." I'm looking at him like I'm 19. I don't have a degree. I'm a black guy in America. He could easily say, after I do all this, or along the line, he could easily say, "Nah, nah, nah, it's not going to work out." So I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm not going to put myself at risk to turn off my opportunities later." It's awfully nice you talking all this. It's cool. But that means I'm going to be in your field and I have other things. I need a degree and I got some property stuff I need to do and I got some business stuff I need to do. So all that stuff is nice, but man, and it was I'm 19 and the dude said salary wise, we're going to put you at 70 G's a year. So does that sound good? I'm like, sounds good, but can't sway me. Number one, I need a degree. Number two, I already make money. Number three, I'm going to school, have some fun. Sorry. He's like, "Well, if you ever want to come back." No, I'm not coming back, man. Are you not hearing the upside that I just talked about? Why am I going to sit here and worry about 75 G's? And I got to work for your ass. Why? I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that's supposed to be telling you what to do. I'm not really talking all that smack in my head. I'm like, this dude's tripping right now. This dude's tripping. I ain't gonna be working for him. And okay, 75 G's at the time. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know what mom and dad says. You know what they say. "Son, you can go to school anytime." I was like, come on, man. Okay. But anyhow, there you go, man. Oh, by the way, this is why I could always talk smack, right? Because it doesn't. This is why the stuff that people are afraid of, like all these rich guys, this stuff. All you guys, one thing they always have you at is when you have a job and you have to be worried about being fired, right? So then you can't really speak up. You can't really say anything because you have to hold your tongue. You can't say, "Hey, I think it should be this way," or "I think it should be that way." You have to, you're thinking in your head, if I say something, they could fire me, right? Think about this. You guys with me? How many people work at a place and you don't agree with how they're treating people and how they're talking and how they're hiring and firing and promoting people, right? Most people have to hold their tongue because if you say something, you could be out the door. So that ain't me. So that's one of the problems, right? Once you have stuff in order, nobody can talk to you crazy. And that's why you guys hear me talk a lot. And that's why there's a reason. Because you know that pull yourself up by the bootstrap stuff, that's what you have to do. You need skill sets. So if you know at any time, you know how to start a business, you know how to run businesses, you know how to do now. Stock trading is a new trait for me, right? Something new. I'm not that good at it. I thought I was better than I was when I was just doing demos. When I went live, I was like, hold on, there's a little dynamic because now I actually have to pay attention more to the downside, whatever which way I'm going, whether it's a buy or sell. Whereas on the demo mode, if it does bust below what I think it should, I just sit there and go, "Oh, okay." it'll go back up. But when you have real money, you sit there and it busts below what you thought, like I'm on the buy side on this case. All of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute. Okay, that's 200, that's 300, that's 400, that's 500. I know it's going to change, but damn, that's six. Oh, finally, 400, 300, 200. But again, not you're sitting there thinking a whole different way, right? Whereas on the demo mode, it didn't matter if it went down to 1,000, because even if it fell down that far, you're like, oh, no biggie, no loss. And then if it rises back up, you're like, I knew it. But in real time, using real money, it drops down to 1,000. You're like, should I bail? What should I do? Right? Stop loss put in. But again, if you put stop losses in, you know what's going to happen. All right, enough. Let's go. So again, uh, so the answer again is a answer. So, like I said, Joshua Tree, people used to ask, because I've always been talking smack, and I don't really care, is that I haven't worked for somebody else in 30 years. That was my last W 2. All right. And I'll give a story. I usually tell stories on Friday night. Business credit over personal for me. Kamikaze, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. I do agree with that too. But see, if you have business credit, that means you have a business. So you've already reached the first level, right? So great job. That's another opportunity and an option as well. If you don't want to do the house, you should have a business. In this day and age, it's a lot easier to get business loans than it was back in the day. Just saying. So you have opportunities before. But again, a lot of people don't set up their corporation or their business properly, right? And so now they go and they go, oh, you need your personal loan to back that up because they don't have any other assets or business. If you have assets first, that gives you a big leg up. So if you have assets and a business, you can do wonders out here. Our system is set up for that, by the way. Once you understand, our system is set up in two tiers. What I always call the liability tier, which is ordinary citizens who work at a job. Most of them will do their 401k. They'll maybe invest in stocks, either way. That's a good thing because over time, you keep investing, your portfolio grows. So there's no problem for that. But I like that, Kamikaze. Exactly. Again, owning your own business is an asset. Real estate, asset. Stock market, asset. Even a little gold, even a little silver, asset. This volatility right now has helped with the commodities market, with the gold, the silver, the precious metals. Those go up and down. So you can make money trading on all types of different fronts. Escape. I need a break. You need a, hey, we told you. You can still do it right now. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Deeded country where the property's deeded to you. You can do pre-construction. That's no credit check, no qualifying. You put down 10% or 5%, or in the EU, which if you want to go to Dubai now, I don't know, but they do 1%. I got something the other, it wasn't the other day. It was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks back. You know what it said for Dubai? 1% down, 1% a month. I'm like, and they're selling the property was uh, like 169 for a condo. So I'm assuming, I didn't even look at it really because I'm not going to buy in Dubai. But the thing is, it was 169. 1% is like $1,690 a month, right? No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. I was like, 1% and then just pay 1% a month? I was like, 20 months is 20%. 30 months is 30%. That's a down payment. I don't know the rules in Dubai, but I'm pretty sure they have banks probably like in the United States where if you put down 30, 40%, then you should be able to get a loan for it because the property values go up. But I haven't checked that, so don't listen to what I'm saying about that. But that's an option. But escape, I need a break. Hey, the escape is you go to a lower end. Every country is cheaper than America, basically. Oh, well, not every, but 90% of countries are cheaper than America. So if you have a way to have American money, then you can live anywhere. That's why the most important part is to have passive income first. All right. Just keep that in mind. I need a break. All right. So that's the first thing. Okay, David Jackson, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Where's the beef? Lots of love. I need some money. Speaking of money, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We got more. Not the mortgage. We got out of that, but you know that prime wealth thing that I've been checking out. Week 2, another $8.84. So I'm going to show the back office. You know we got to show the back office. Come on now. We can't be we can't tell people share this one instead. Yeah, we can't tell people. I told you guys we're testing because it's high risk, high rewards. Speaking of that, David Jackson, here we go. Prime Wealth Advisors. There it is. Just saying. All right. Right. Let me go check something else out because I messed Okay, I put in the chat room. You see, it's free for they haven't figured out a way to allow people to have full pay. You know, have a website on there. This is week 2. Let's see if I'm on the now. Just so you guys understand, when I deposited the $108, it's crypto, right? When I deposited that at 8:42, like February 29th, maybe 28th, whatever. It was 8:42 when the 108 got deposited, right? It was Friday morning or whatever. Friday night, Saturday morning. And so even though it wasn't added to my account until 3 days later, they started the interest from the time they received the deposit. So that's why it was on Saturday morning at 8:42 a.m. But now when they give the interest, it's 8:43 a.m. every Saturday. So here's the first Saturday, March 7th. Here's the second one. Each one of them is $8.64. The only way this will increase is I have to put in $100 or more. Now, this was testing. Another week goes by. I'll probably add 108 just to be nice. So this will be the same amount we have now in the account. That means it'll turn into 1728 a week, right? So I'll probably add some later this week or something. Um, because when I have the central exchange that I upload money to, they hold it for 4 days, sometimes five, even though I've uploaded before. They still are holding it, which put a hold on it where I can't transfer it out of the central exchange. It's crazy. All right, but anyhow, 1728 in 2 weeks. Now, some people would say, well, Eric, why didn't you put that 1728 into the 108? You can't. You have to have $100 minimum in this balance account, just like you can only upload $100 minimum to Prime Wealth Advisors. High risk, high rewards. I'm going to put a link in the chat room if you want to join the party. All right. If you want to join the party, okay, we'll do this. All right, let's go. High, high risk, high rewards. Prime Wealth Advisors. I almost put in high risk, high rewards. Okay, here's the link. All you got to do is just download, ladies and gentlemen. If you can decide later, but there's a referral thing. If you refer somebody, you get a commission of 10%. The funny part is they don't take it out of my account, and the person still gets 10%, which is interesting. So that's why I say it's high risk. So use the link, download. That's all you have to do. You can then, oh, by the way, once you log in, the link is at the bottom. Once you log in, this will be all zeros across here. This will be zeros where the balance is, total deposits, and all that. This will be zeros. But down here at the bottom is where your link is. All right. Then you can just share your link and let others know. But again, just let everybody know it's high risk, high rewards. Typically, this is a Ponzi scheme. So I just got to warn you. I'm just doing it because I'm like, well, as soon as I get up to 100, well, now it'll be 200. As soon as I get up to 216 or whatever it is, I'm just going to leave it in there. I'm going to withdraw the 200. I'm not going to reinvest it, right? And then from that point on, I'll reinvest. And we'll go month to month, right? Or maybe even, yeah, it'll be month to month. And so we'll go from that. That's my plan. Some people would say, well, why don't you just put in a couple thousand? I'm like, well, I don't want to. I'm like, forget that. We're going to start on the low end. And if it keeps going, then we'll get up to that. But there's no reason to risk anything significant at all because it's already been running, and just keep that in mind. So again, I just got to tell you the truth. Anything that gives out this is usually a Ponzi scheme. So the sooner you get to 100 balance, you can withdraw. So it looks like it's going to be, if I kept this up already, it's 13 weeks. So that's why I'm going to add another 108. So then I'm going to reduce that to 6 weeks. So a month and a half. So we'll see where this sits. Every week I'm going to make a video about this too. There's not much to it. You just upload, and then they give you the interest every week from the time your upload came in. All right. And there's affiliates. People have already sent money, signed up, did some things. So that's cool. There's some other things, but it doesn't matter. That's it. All right. So hopefully that helps you guys out on that front. And you got to rejoice out here. Don't forget, I already gave the Candlestick Trading Bible. I already put that out. I'll put it out again in case we have somebody new here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's that? Oh, good. Okay, good. Copy. Where's my copy? Okay. I'm going to have to do something different here. I don't want to pin that. Candlestick Trading Bible. Learn how to trade. There's plenty of people on the internet, social media, and everybody that helps you with trading. All right. I'm not an expert trader. Otherwise, I would try to help you guys. I mean, I trade a different way than you're going to trade. Everybody's going to get their own situation handled. Here we go. Kevin Globe, oil going up actually helps the US. Who told you that? Who told you that? You listening to them rich dudes again? Who told you this? Sorry, Kevin Globe. Don't listen to the rich dudes. You do understand oil prices going up. Oh, I know who said something. The trust fund kid. That's right. The trust fund kid said if oil prices go up, hey, did you Google? If oil prices go up, it helps us. Okay, you do understand transportation costs go up. You do understand when you're filling your gas tank, that's going up. Everything you buy goes up. How is this actually helping us? I'm not following. You do understand this, right? And while it's going up, you know who else it's helping? When you remove sanctions from Russia and Russia gets to sell its oil, it helps them. America, it doesn't really help us. It's going to increase your cost of living. So your energy bills are going to go up too, by the way. Oh, and by the way, you know, an LNG tanker, that's natural gas tanker, the ones that go through the Strait of Hormuz, a lot of people don't realize when one gets bombed, it costs that industry or country around $200 million to replace it. So, do you really think you're going to be going through the Strait of Hormuz based on we're going to protect you from the United States? 230 million minimum for an LNG tanker to be replaced. Countries don't even want to spend that on military. You think they want to spend that on a tanker or two? I think not. It doesn't help you, man. Does not help nobody. So your gas pumps are going to cost more. The transportation costs more. Wherever you transport anything to is going to cost more. I'm not following the help us part. I don't know why. No, no, no. And I won't get into the data center stuff right now. Not going to help us, Kevin Globe. Sorry. All right. G Cart's in the house. Another investor. I love the house full of investors. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Very happy to see you once again. Thank you so much for being in the house. Hello, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. You guys know conversation's always open. You guys are able to say whatever you want. You're not going to be blocked in this house. We don't do that. Sometimes we don't like what we hear, but it's all right. Here we go. Are you going to get a chip implant to bank, Eric, when the time comes? Mr. Overtime Wayne, I never really thought about that. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. I like what you're saying, though. It's funny you mentioned that part about the chip. Here's what I want to know. How come American citizens or citizens around the world aren't chipping up their kids? That's what I want to know, quite frankly. All right. Are you going to get a chip implant to bank when the time comes? Probably. It all depends. There's a lot of things. I don't rock with governments. Is the least I can. So it all depends on if this chip is going to be where I'm holding or if this is just like my DNA in a database. That's what it's going to depend on. All right. So, hey, by the way, do you know on implants for a woman's when they do their breast, the implants have serial numbers on them? So if a woman is killed and she has an implant, they can identify who the person is. Just saying. The only thing I'm thinking is they're going to be trackable. That's the only thing, Mr. Overtime Wayne. Anything trackable, I'm against. Speaking of trackable, I got to go. I got to keep rocking with Bankus. You guys, a crypto MasterCard debit card. Now, it exists, okay? It does not work. It exists. They used to have Visa. They've transforming over to MasterCard. So that means they have to switch systems. They've taken 3 months, just so you guys know, where I do have an online, they have a digital card for everybody that buys the plastic card. You can buy a metal one, but you don't want to miss tomorrow night. The um, Zoom call. The reason why is one of the guys is going down and he will be at Bancas in Mexico. The 2 p.m. Zoom call is not going to be on tomorrow. They'll be live from Mexico City with the CEO of Bancas. So, first things first, download the Bancas card. I mean, the Bancas app, please. That would be greatly appreciated. And I have to admit, you can make money from this if you refer other people, but that's not my motivation. My motivation is it's outside the broke country. Because sooner or later, there's going to be bail ins, ladies and gentlemen. They've already started, just so you know. I don't want to be part of their bail in, all right? While they're out here bombing people. I'm just not with that program. And I like a little protection in the first place. And as long as it has the MasterCard and the debit card usage, I'm good. So I put in the chat room for no matter where you're watching from, you should be able to get this. So don't be shy out here. All right. The 2 p.m. tomorrow, just remember, it's not going to be on. So you want to have the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zoom call. Book it. You don't want to miss it because one of my things was I've been on the Zoom calls and I've been asking, I'm like, look, man, I don't want to listen to you. I don't say this. I'm much nicer. I'm just saying it, expressing it now in my brain. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to listen to you. So I just been asking, hey, when's the owner or the corporate office doing their Zoom call? I don't want to listen to secondhand smoke. I want to hear directly what they're saying. I don't want you relaying it to me because I don't know if you're reliable, right? So I never got any answer back on their Zoom calls. They're like, they ignore that. But they answer everything else. If I was live, I didn't raise my hand to be on because I was like, it's no big deal. Because since you cannot uh, what do you call it? Activate your card right now due to maintenance, it's not relevant. So everybody can download the link. You're not going to get hurt. Once it comes back up, the party's on. But you can earn money every time somebody buys the plastic card, which is what this is. It has the logo, I mean, the tap feature on it. The metal card does not have the tap feature. The plastic card is $35 plus $15 for shipping. It's $50. The metal card is $85 and $15 shipping. It's $100. If you're in America, it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get the card. If you're in another country, let's just say it's the DR, let's just say it's somewhere in Africa, then you're going to be up to your postal service. So you could be a month, you could be a month and a half, you could be 2 months. But the fact of the matter is, they get it to you. People all over the world have this, and this is the most important fact. This card allows you to send money to people, and they have a digital card online, so you can always use online payments and do all that because it has a separate number. The fact is, I like the feature where I can send money to somebody else. So that other person needs to be with Bankers. So tell your family and friends, get the Bankers app. Because then once I upload money to my card, if I want to send you $500, the other person receives $500. No fees are taken out. The only fee taken out is when you upload in the first place. If I send $100, let's say they take 4%. So I'd have $96 in my account. 1% they're giving to commission, such as the person that referred you. Okay, cool. I like that. 3% they keep in house. Companies got to run. I like that too. So that is a hefty fee to pay for your freedom. It's not in the jurisdiction of the United States. And there's something else, but I'm not going to talk about that. The other part, when I am doing trading, I use crypto to upload to CoinEx. My winnings I get to download through CoinEx. The wallet they use, which they change the wallets, right? Whether it's upload or download, they don't have the same wallet every time. So if you have profits and you say, okay, I'm going to download $300 to my Banker's card, sure, I'm going to have 4% taken out. That's hefty, $28 or so. 12, what is that? $12. Still hefty because if it's 1,000, that's $40. If it's 5 grand, $200, right? That's kind of hefty. But the freedom, I don't mind. Quite for me, I don't mind. So the thing is, so now it goes down, not using my uh, crypto ID alphanumeric characters. It goes down using their alphanumeric characters, and it's $300 to outside jurisdiction because they don't know my alphanumeric characters for my Bankus. So it's not trackable. Just keep that in mind for a broke country. Friends, you're friends of mine. We're broke country, ladies and gentlemen. If you're from the United States, make sure you smash the like button out here so everybody knows there's people watching, please. Thank you. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right, we're going to wrap this up because it's an hour and 42 minutes. Peace and what's up from FERT 8740. Thank you so much for being in the house once again, and welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline, peace and what's up. That's what it always is about. Humanity, peace, love, money. That's it. And doing it the right way. Come on. AV Place, Kevin. In Russia, they are celebrating these prices. I know that. I know because there's the sellers. That's exactly what's happening. They're the sellers. The whole world is rejoicing. The sellers are rejoicing. The consumer is not. The consumer has to pay more. How is that a win? And how is that a win for a government? It's only a win for Russia because they've had sanctions. We're supposedly against Russia, and our government allows other countries to release with their blessings. Oh, yeah, we released the sanctions. In fact, the United States released the sanctions against Russia. So now they are rejoicing because they're like, what? We didn't do anything. Are you serious right now? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's our puppet. I forgot. He's our puppet. Of course, he's going to help us out. And he's helping them out. Not helping American citizens out, though. That's just what it is. TC, I shall wear a crown when it's all over. That's what I like to hear, TC. Exactly. Get it ready. That's right. And by the way, let's get into a little motivational stuff right now, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something, but if you try to learn, that's what you should do. Try to be the best at whatever you can learn. There's always something new. Just because you did something 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 1 year ago, there's always somebody trying to move forward with better knowledge, better understanding, maybe even a better way of doing it, more efficient. So therefore, that's why you should always pay attention. Don't just sleep on your laurels. All right? The crown is heavy. But stop. Trump don't work for Russia. Hey, Judah Barak, do you know he called Putin to ask for help with Iran? Who's the leader of the world? Why is he calling Putin for help with Iran? To wait, hold on. I thought we're bombing Iran so we can have regime change. We didn't really care about nobody else. Remember, we just came in with Israel and said, let's go. I don't need to talk to Congress. I don't need to do nothing. We're rolling. Then Netanyahu struck first. I'm his boy. I'm going to go do what he wants us to do. Let's rock. He's telling the EU, I need your help to do the Strait of Hormuz. Do you see anything wrong with this picture, bro? Do you see anything wrong with this? So now he says, Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I need your help. Russia, I need your help. Oh, EU, you're our NATO allies, but without us, you ain't. But I need your help. Come on, man. Stop this. This little sissy stuff out here, man, cracks me up. Trying to make him something he ain't. This dude's a little punk. Not you, Judah Barack. This Trump dude, man. It just cracks me up what he does. He talked all that smack and then finding out, I can't talk to Iran. Yeah, you can't talk to somebody after you were negotiating with them and then you attack and kill their leader and now you expect them to come back to the table. Are you a chump or what? I mean, seriously, who's going to? Oh, that's right, the GOP party. You can talk and do all that BS and then you're going to work for the dude. I'm sorry, man. The rest of the world don't operate like weak asses. What they do is they say, yeah, try again. Now I got to go talk to Putin. Oh, by the way, after let me ask you something. If a country attacks the United States and they take, let's just say, uh, no, no, let's just say the Eastern Seaboard, right? Let's just say they took the Eastern Seaboard, Florida up into Maine, over into Pennsylvania, over into West Virginia, uh, that area. And the president of the United States would say what? He's going to say, no, we got to battle, right? Because we've been invaded. We have to, you know, get these people off our continent, and so to speak, right? Out of our country. So if this was Russia and it's Putin, and let's just say Britain is the world leader like they used to be 120 years ago, right? So let's just say they're the world leader. Let me ask you, and the world leader is your ally for America, right? So let me ask you something. If Britain is our ally, why would Britain tell Russia and then talk to Ukraine and go, "Hey man, United States, just give up your land and call it a day and cease fire and Russia can keep your land." Isn't that good? Britain is our ally telling us to give up our land. And all the people in the mass graves and all the people they done killed, just supposed to be like, we're good. That's what Trump has done. He went to Ukraine and said, hey, man, all your losses, all the land, all that stuff, they attacked you. Just forget about it. Just do a ceasefire. What do you mean he doesn't work for Putin, man? Stop. What are you talking about? Right? This is absurd. Okay, you can have your point of view, yes. But come on, man, call it what it is. Call it the real way. Don't sit out here and make up stories. This is literally what he's done, is doing. How about this? We have allies. This is why the other allies can't respect anything that the US is doing. Ukraine's an ally, right? They've asked to be with NATO. They got some sort of an agreement, right? So they're a full fledged ally of all of the alliance. But you have one person in the alliance that's going against the alliance. What do you mean he don't work for Russia? Okay, I don't know what you call working for Russia, but I do know this. If Russia was really, if I'm the president of the United States, I am not releasing sanctions. And you're damn right. Look, here's the funnier part. Let's get to the other part. I don't have to ask anybody any permission to use weapons against Iran, right? Why is it then that I can't give weapons to Ukraine against Russia? Why do we have to have a talk with the EU? Why do we? What are you talking about right now? All I can say is that looks an awfully like somebody on Team Russia to me. Because if I'm actually trying to get Russia out of Ukraine and I'm trying to hurt Russia, there is no way on this planet they're getting any release for oil. embargoes. There is no way I'm going to let people be good with get, getting gas from Russia. There is no way that I'm going to have bases in Saudi Arabia and allow Saudi Arabia to trade oil with Russia without using US dollars. There's three things I talked about right now that this administration has now allowed. And on our watch, while we're protecting and losing our soldiers, Saudi Arabia, which attacked us on 9/11, is where their people were from, not Iraq, not Iran. This dude that we have right now is good with Saudi Arabia not using US dollars to sell oil to our enemies. I don't know what you talking about, but you better get in the real game, because the real game is this dude is enjoying his friendship with the wrong guys. He's out here golfing while our US soldiers are getting killed, man. Come on. Again, I can't rock with the dude like this. Is this a leader or not? He's not like acting like a leader, is all I'm going to say. Because I don't know anybody that would be doing the stuff he's doing with Russia right now for the last first administration or the last year. So if you're going to show me signs that he's against Russia in any form, I'm listening. I'm all ears, because I'm missing the whole point. All right. Russia ain't jack. By the way, since I'm going to talk about this, why don't we just do this? Um, Top 20 countries military spending annually. Let's do it that way. Why don't we just do it that way? So, we have people here who don't understand, but you're investors, right? Let me see if they have. Oh, here we go. We got the list. We got the list. Check this out. Check this out. Check this list out, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are going to find this funny. Funny as hell. Democrats talking points. Kamikaze. I'm not talking, man. It's the legitimate. If you think that's a talking point, that's exactly what happened. What do you mean talking point? That's reality. You live in an alternative universe or something? This is reality. What are you guys smoking out here? You guys don't like reality? You don't like the truth? What the hell's going on with you guys out here? Let's go. We'll get to this in a second. But let me is this going to be a talking point too? That you should be afraid of Russia? Is that your talking point? That's the GOP way. Russia, Russia, Russia. Look, top 20 countries, 197 billion by the US. This is 2024 numbers. China 314 billion, Russia 149 billion. How much are we spending at Israel right now? I mean, well, between giving Israel stuff and aren't we spending a billion a day? It's up to 2 billion a day. We just sent 2,200 Marines over there. We're at like 2 billion a day. We can't get health care. Israel has health care. We can't get free college. Israel has free college. What are you guys talking about? These aren't talking points. 149 billion versus 997. Do you understand they can't operate on $2 billion a day? They can't even do 20 days, 30 days of $2 billion a day. That'd be half their annual budget. They don't even for look at this. This is crazy. Okay. Number one, Russia increased their spending because they're in a war. Let me do something different. Okay. Let's do this. How long has that war been going on? No, it can't be 2021. Let's do 2022. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. Let's see if they show it. Let's see. Thinking. Oh, we in AI mode. How cool. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Here's Russia, $86 billion. They're really building up big ass war chests. Look at Saudi Arabia, 75 billion. Is Saudi Arabia doing anything with military wise? India, 81 billion. They doing anything? So look at our allies. United Kingdom, 68 billion. Germany, 55 billion. France, 53 billion. South Korea, 46. Japan, 46. Ukraine, 40. Italy, 33. Australia, 33. Canada, 27. Israel, 23. Now do you understand why Israel needs heavy lifting from the United States? So again, is this talking points? These guys have free healthcare, education. These guys, free healthcare. These guys, free healthcare. These guys, no free healthcare. I don't know about Russia and China. It's not free, but it's cheap as hell. It's cheap as hell. You can cheap as hell. Uh, Russia, I don't know about. India, I don't know about. Saudi Arabia, all these United Kingdom, free healthcare. Germany, free healthcare and free education. France, free healthcare, free education. South Korea, don't know. This is what we're dealing with. Look at the United States, 877. This is in 2022. Look at this, 292 from these guys, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The next 10 countries combined does not even equal 800 billion. Think about that. How many? That's 3. That's 386. That's, call it 466. Call that 533. Call that 600. Call that 655. Call that 700. Call this 740. Call that 790. It takes us the next 9 or 10 countries to equal what we're paying. And this is why you try to avoid war. I'd rather have the talking point of healthcare for all, seeing that wasting $1 or $2 billion a day is no big deal. We'll see. I'm rooting for Trump, says Steve G. Hey, man, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. What are you rooting for, Steve G? To make our country better, I hope, right? To have the affordability thing that he promised, lower prices and all that, right? We'd all be rooting for that. But causing gas prices to increase is not going to reduce prices. It's not going to help us pay off our debt if we're spending $2 billion a day just on that. War situation, 2,200 Marines just went there. We have aircraft carriers in the Gulf getting hit, right? They're not sinking, but they're getting hit. So where all this money could have been used for who? Taxpayers. Taxpayers are paying for this, right? And soldiers are losing their lives or injured for this. They've reported 130, 140 people been injured militarily wise. Unfortunately, that's not true. Because again, when you have weak people, they can't give out the real information, right? So that's why you have to look at other sources, because there's other news organizations outside of the US. Just saying, you would find out these numbers are not real, they're higher. So we can root for whatever we want, but he's not acting on my behalf or your behalf. Because if he was, you would not attack somebody. First of all, you wouldn't take somebody out of the Iran nuclear agreement. When the EU, our partners who are on the same area, continent, who actually get to go in and look and make sure they weren't enriching, weren't doing everything, they agreed that they were going along with the Iran nuclear deal. So, as I said before about somebody talking about talking points, if you take somebody out of the nuclear deal, which the United States removed themselves out of the nuclear deal, Iran is not stupid. America and Israel attack people all in Israel attacks in the region. United States back what Israel attacks in the region. America has bases all over the region. They saw what happened with Ukraine. They know if you disarm yourself, are you serious right now? You're going to disarm yourself listening to the United States and this guy Trump, who's acting like he wants to be Hitler-esque? What do we? I mean, how? This doesn't even. This is nonsensical to me. So anyhow, takes us out. Then says they have nuclear weapons, or they're almost near it. 10 years later, and so therefore we have to attack them. You did this. You did this. Everybody was good with the nuclear Iran deal. You. But the draft dodger has nerve to send in troops. 2,200 so far on the ground somewhere. We don't know. I hope they're well, I don't even hope they're at military bases. I hope they're sitting in Nigeria or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping they're in Italy or some or Spain. Because Italy and Spain, this ain't talking points. They said you can't leave from our destination militarily because we don't want to be attacked by Iran unnecessarily because we're friends with you. Or are we? Are they? You had nerve to talk about my prime minister or president, says Spain. You told me to go sit down when I saw you last. I don't want to talk to you. Now you want help. I don't know what you guys are calling this. I call this weak, pathetic. This ain't even close to what America represented before. This is like a girl. And people were like, oh, we can't have a woman. They're going to be so emotional. Meanwhile, this dude's on Truth Social every damn day and night whining like a trust fund kid. Unbelievable. The market going down is a good thing. Mission. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. By the way, that's exactly the point. Investors should rejoice because you can make money going up or down if you know how to stock trade. So being a stock market trader gives you advantages. You don't get to sit on the sidelines. Of course, you got to pay attention to the market. So what? You can get alerts if some stock drops, but see, that's the thing. Do you really want it to drop like 3, 4, 5% before you find out about it? Not really. So what do? You still got to do alerts. I'm just saying, the news and information and alerts. We get to buy for cheap now. No, buy what cheap? What do you mean? You had me for the first thing. The second thing, there's no way you can buy cheap. What do you mean? Transportation costs rising. A guy put in 188 gallons in his truck. It cost him I think it was $997. He said a week ago it was 600 and something of that nature. All right. That means in order for the delivery, that they have to charge people more money. So therefore it's going to cost more. I don't know. What do you mean you get to buy cheap? Oh, Mission, you mean stocks. Right. They're cheaper. If you mean stocks, you're exactly right. Those are going to be cheaper. But here's the point, the beauty of it. Because the stock market is based on the stock market always going up, because it's a rigged system, it means, yes, it's going to drop down. And after it drops down, magically, all of a sudden, there's a Dow Jones, for instance, another $300 to $500 increase will happen. The NASDAQ will go up an extra 100, 200 points. No problems after the fall. So that is why stock trading right now for the next year and a half is excellent, in my opinion. But it's a very, very hard thing to, grasp and study and learn. So therefore, some of us would have to take their trading. So you're going to buy a stock or going to strategically pick whatever you want to buy. Gold, silver, precious metals, I don't know, stocks. I personally like real estate investment trusts because we know what's coming. The rich guys are going to do rich guy things. The Federal Reserve is going to be pressurized to reduce the interest rate. It does not help you because if you have money in a CD or if you have money in your bank that you're trying to earn interest on, that means the interest rate's going to be reduced. The only people that's going to win are people that have assets because they're going to be able to borrow at commercial rates. So if you are good friends with the bank and the mortgage companies and all this, and you have commercial property, your interest rate will not be 6%. Their interest rate, if they have their way, is going to be 3.5%. Wouldn't you rather borrow 3.5% at interest only? Wouldn't you? Come on now. Let's go. This is why you should buy assets, have assets. A brokerage account is an asset. Real estate is an asset. Commercial buildings are an asset. A painting could be an asset, just so you guys understand. It's not just the norms. A collectible credit card collection could be an asset. All this stuff that is considered an asset, somebody will hold, take and hold, and they will give you loans, give you property, stocks, whatever. A lot of different options are available to you. But the best one ever is when you can get a 3 point in this era right now. If they reduced it to get to the 1% or half a point so they can get 3.75, 3.5%. If you can get that 3.5% interest only, let's get real. If you can get that 0% interest only credit for 3 years, which isn't out yet, it's going to be, I believe, and we got about 6 months, 5 months, then you have 3 years of no interest. That goes a long way. You freed up some money that you don't have to pay for your principal. Think about it, and you could use that for investment purposes. So that's why reducing your expenses right now helps you in several ways. But stocks, you are right. You get to buy them cheaper, and that's why you should back up the truck when they're cheaper. So then that way you win. I love that part, but overall, we're not going to lose. All right. Time for a chronic break, says script writer. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. I'm going to go faster. Okay, time for the chronic break, script writer. Very nice to see you once again, everybody. Please smash that like button, no matter where you're watching from, so the YouTube gods and Twitch gods and Facebook gods and podcast gods, iHeart, all these guys, Carleon Tafari, I see you. Thank you so much for being in the house. So once again, thank you. All right. Common Man, I like that name. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. What are your thoughts on, is this citrulline? Thanks. Are you, okay, hold on a second. I don't think I know what that is. Is this some sort of, yeah, it is a drug, isn't it? I've seen that name before, but I never paid attention to what that is because I've never used it. Amino acid that boosts nitric oxide production, enhancing blood flow, oxygen delivery, and nutrient transport throughout the body, primarily used to improve athletic performance, reduce muscle fatigue, support, helps lower blood pressure, and may alleviate mild erectile dysfunction. Yeah, the only reason the last part, alleviate mild erectile dysfunction, is because nitric oxide opens up your blood vessels. So that would help if you have problems with your performance, the erectile. That helps. Same thing with watermelon. That actually has nitrogen in it. So again, you should add watermelon to your diet. Just saying, every now and then or every week, whatever. You should have that. This does a lot. So then, let me see what foods have this. All right. Benefits. I like this. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. These are great. This is great. Hold on. Let me go to something else though. I don't know what oh, it's L-citrulline. Okay, that makes sense. Generally safe and well tolerated. Very reported side effects when they occur to be mild and limited gastrointestinal issues like stomach discomfort, bloating, or diarrhea. particularly at higher doses. So you got to watch your toxicity levels. It is known to increase blood flow and may cause low blood pressure if taken with related medic. Oh, you got to watch the medications. Okay, that's a problem. Um, Drop in blood pressure too low in some individuals. Headaches, flushing. Though rare, some individuals may experience headaches or flush feeling, particularly with combining it with L-arginine. Can't mess around. People with severe kidney or liver disease should be cautious as these organs are involved in the metabolism of the amino acid. So, uh, yeah, what you're trying to achieve can happen, but anything that messes with your kidneys and liver, remember your kidneys flushes things out. So it's trying to remove toxins out of your system. If your kidneys don't operate, that means those toxins stay in your system. That causes all kind of havoc in your body. All right. And if you're taking blood pressure medication, again, I don't like messing with things that if you're taking blood pressure if you're taking medication, I don't like because I don't know what this is. So what I would do is do the next thing. So what I do is I go to this. L seer can be found in what foods, right? So I find out what is normal, and it says, there it is, watermelon, richest source, yellow watermelon, honeydew melon, cantaloupe, and bitter melon, watermelon, exactly. That makes sense. Cucumber, but cucumbers, you got to be careful with that because they have oxalates in them. So I need I need vitamin C to offset the oxalates because oxalates can turn into stones, which now means that has to pass through your kidney if it doesn't actually bind and um, and absorb during your stomach acids. So you want it. That's why you can't have just cucumber by itself. You got to add citrus to it. You got to add fruits and vegetables. Okay. Pumpkins and various squash and gourds. So smaller sources include legumes and nuts. Once again, legumes and nuts through your kidneys. So you're gonna need fruits to get your oxalate numbers down if you're gonna consume cucumbers. Just so you guys know. Same with nuts. There's a lot to it. When you have nuts, almonds, all that, again, they have oxalates in them. Those can turn into stones because of the buildup, and it doesn't. That means your kidneys won't be functioning properly. So again, fruits and vegetables are the thing. As long as you combine the fruit with it, you're good. Just so you know. All right. Exercise performance, though, studies show it can help reduce muscle fatigue and increase exercise capacity. This is true because you have your nitric oxide opening up your blood vessels, which now means everything's moving faster. And now blood is flowing to your muscles. All right. So, and that means when you are working out, you tear up your muscles, by the way. So that's why oftentimes you worked out with me, go see that MSM. All right. And get your citrus, your blueberries, your strawberries, your banana for the potassiums, right? And you get the mix with not milk, but maybe you use almond milk, right? Or maybe you use water, maybe you use cranberry juice to help with some other parts of your body. And so now, when that's 30 minutes after you work out, right? 30 to 45 minutes after, not immediately. So now, throw an orange in there. So then the MSN helps your muscles, similar to what they're talking about here. Not fatigue, though. You ripped up your muscles, so to repair your muscles faster You can add some MSM, right? You can also do a little creatine. Just saying, because you got some out. Okay, enough with that. That's health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk about that another day. All right. But yes, I get what you're saying. I got it. I like it to some extent, but if you're taking medication, you should check side effects. Um, and I'm hoping you're not referring to the caps or something, the capsules or pills, because again, you're going to have to. In fact, why don't I just do this right now? What's the toxicity for this? All right. If I'm going to take capsules in humans, okay, let's go. Here it is: safe, non toxic, and well tolerated in humans, even at high oral doses of up to 15 grams per day. While no standard toxicity limit is established, excessive consumption can cause mild, and now we're going to get into the side effects. So, 15 grams per day. That's a lot. Or is it? Let me see. It's kind of a lot. Okay. So, what is it? Powder. There's something called, okay, let's go see. 2000. Just just remember, yeah, there's something called 2000. Yeah, there's powder, there's a bunch of things. Citrulline 2000, nitric oxide pre-workout. Yep, that makes sense to open up your blood vessels. Citrulline caps, bulk supplement 1796. Let's go. Okay, here's the other thing, just so everybody understands. Whatever you put in your stomach via caps, you only get 17 to 20%. 3,000 milligrams. All right. So that's a lot. Or is it? We'll see in a second. That's 3 grams. All right. So if you take two, that's 6 grams. So again, they're caps, but remember, you're only going to get, if it's 3,000, let's just do this real quick. If you do 3,000 um, times 17, I always go on the low end, that's around 500 milligrams. That's all you're getting. All right. Which means you're not even getting 1 gram. 3,000. So it's 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. So here's the problem. You're going to have to be kicking up a lot more in order to get 3 grams is nice. But if you want 3 grams actually through your system, you're going to need 6 caps. Just saying. So a little bit in your system still works, but the fact of the matter is you're going to need more. This is why when you prescription grade drugs are 1,000 milligrams for pain pills and things like that, because they know 500. So you go down and get 200, 250, even 500 in some cases. This is why the prescription grade is higher, because they know you're only going to take in 17 to 20 through your mouth. That's it. So just letting you guys understand. All right. Enough about that. Let's go. TC. Trump has all the info. We don't have the info he has. What info? It's sideline talk because it's just your opinion, not based on fact. TC, it's based on fact. What do you mean? We got 2,200 troops going to Middle East. So everything's not apparently all under control because we're not an invasion force. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. What do you mean? That's fact. The United States said that they need help having ships. Our allies, please use your ships to escort the the uh, the ships through. Would you do that? Seeing that our military bases are hit in all of the area regions? What do you mean? That's facts. They're not going to. Would you do it if you're a country? What do you mean? This is not opinion. This is facts. I wouldn't do it. Have you lost your mind? I'm gonna actually go through where Iran, who's bombing everybody that's friends, they're not bombing me. France, Spain, Italy, none of the NATO countries except the ones in the Middle East, if they are, I don't even know. But the point is, they're not attacking Germany. They're not attacking Switzerland. They're not attacking. So you expect me, after you didn't call me up, to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to put my troops in harm's way for your bullshit. What are you talking about right now? You're going to be weak ass and do that for your fellow man? Your country? Come on. They did exactly what you would expect. They said, no, I think it's a pass. You're the one that said you don't need us. You're the one, he's the one that said that, not nobody else. He said that we don't need them. And without NATO, without America, NATO ain't nothing. He's the one saying this. So if you're another country, they start a war and don't consult you in your region. This would be like a country. This would be like I'm trying to think. Germany, right? This would be like Germany and France getting together and going, "Hey man, we don't like Mexico. Why don't we just bomb them?" And you find out after the evening news that, wait a minute, Germany went off on Mexico, they bombed them. And then because we're friends with them, Mexico bombs us. Or not us. I won't use us in this case. I'll use because Mexico's friends with Brazil. They bomb Brazil. They bomb Colombia. And now, because you can't traverse the Gulf of Mexico, now all of a sudden you want the U.S. to transport some ships through the Gulf of Mexico? Are you serious right now? Come on, man. Stop playing out here. People can't be this weak out here. Come on. I know good and well you're gonna be just like, I know good and well you are not gonna. First of all, this Hollywood thing, I told you guys a long time ago, this Hollywood thing, I've been in Cali. I live in Cali. Let's just put things in perspective. When you live in, I tell people this all the time. When you live in a state that, if you go to the Bay Area at one time, they're in the top 5 murder rate in America. You go down the middle of the state and stop in Stockton. Stockton, number 1 murder capital in the country. You go down to Modesto, Fresno, at one time, top 5 to number 1 in the country for homicide. You go down to LA, you hang out in Compton, and that's top 5 murder capital in the world. You go down to San Diego, downtown, at one time, top 10 murder capital in the world. This is your playground. Now I have trust fund kids acting like they know something about art of engagement with people, acting like they're draft dodgers, acting like they know something about the military, Department of Defense or war, got booted out of the military, not even a Marine, not even on the front lines in combat. These dudes are planning, and we got Jared Kushner, a trust fund kid, over negotiating. What is this? Seriously? Those are facts. Are you seriously good with this? Okay, I'm not. You are. Fair enough. But to sit there and act like, minimize it like the rest of the world is supposed to somehow be good with it because you are, they're not good with this. In fact, the United States citizens aren't good with this. And again, I can never be good with spending $1 to $2 billion a day while you tell American citizens you can't have free health care. Your veterans who's put their lives on the line, you can't have free health care and housing. And I mean, you can't have free education like our allies. like Israel. I'm like, what are we doing over here? And then you want help after you start a war. Again, if that war was over here, Americans would be crying, right? Oh my God, we're trying to help. They attacked our embassy. That means war. As you can see, the other countries spend 50 billion, 20 billion, 30 billion on military. They're not equipped for this, nor do they want to be. They don't want to be in conflicts. A world at peace is a world that thrives. As soon as you do what Russia's done and what Israel and the United States has done, that's a problem for all the world. This isn't just isolated like Russia, Ukraine. This is affecting the whole world. This little stunt that Israel and the United States has done, that affects every country. China gets to sit on the background going, look at this. Look at this right here. Oh, they're revamping who's going to be friends with us. This is funny stuff right now. Seriously, that's what's happening. You're resetting the world order, which we had a strong alliance. Now, even the alliance is raising their eyebrow like, wait, what's going on? Who is this? That's why they're not helping. Let me see something. And by the way, this is facts. If you're factless, Spain and Italy said, no, you can't use your military bases to strike Iran. You got that, right? Which, if you were Spain and Italy, what would you do? Since the United States can't protect you, like they couldn't protect the UAE, they can't protect Saudi Arabia, they can't protect anybody in the Gulf because those bombs are coming down on every country that's friends with the US. They're not trying to kill USA citizens. They just made sure they're going to bomb some airports so they can't leave easily. Yeah, there's going to be some fallout. But again, these are airports, UAE. This is airport, Saudi Arabia's airport. This is a war you started. And now they're attacking Iran. I mean, Iran's attacking Israel. Israel's attacking Iran. USA attacking Iran, and they want help for something they started. That's crazy. They want you to tag team in and want you to risk your soldiers, your ships for their bullshit. I'm like, that's insane to me. That's so American. You know, they want my ancestors to risk their lives in their wars. And then when they come back to the United States, oh no, you're not one of us. You wanted that GI Bill in World War One. You went over. Yeah, you wanted that GI Bill stuff? No, no, no. We're only gonna give it to the white dudes. Black dudes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mexican dudes, I'm sorry. Can't, hey, a few of you, yeah, okay, we'll do that. But the majority of you, you ain't gonna get that funding for a home. No, that's an asset. What does it look like right now? You're in Jim Crow. You can't own real estate anyhow. Come on, man, get real. Stop playing out here, man. You know what country you live in. Still don't know. All right, I'll give it to you. Check some history books. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. GOP likes to, block that. Go outside of the United States and get some history books. All right. Jesus. All right. See how it's looked at from other perspective or people that were actually here and they report what actually happened. If U.S. Army will place a foot on Iran's land, Israel will evaporate. EV place, there you go. They're evaporating fast because what's happening is Iran, after they shot their cheap loads of bullets, very smart. I mean, let's look. If I know it costs a country $1 million per item that they're shooting at me, or $1 million that's going to intercept missiles I know it costs 4 million to bring in something a little heavier to hit me. What am I going to do? I'm going to do what they're doing. I'm blowing up inflatables to make you guys waste ammunition hitting inflatables. I'm sitting over there making balsa wood drones, buying cheap $50, $150 drones, and sending them because the radar, they're so small they can't even detect them, with a small payload. Meanwhile, you have to use $1 million interceptors, missiles to actually knock me down. Meanwhile, I'm hitting some targets. And you're sending hundreds. And now the US has to supply Israel and other allies. And so the United States, by the way, goes to South Korea to get some air to missiles, launchers to the Middle East. Our South Korean friends are sitting there a little scared. Because remember, even though Japan's over there, Japan's out too, because we made them give up their stuff because we're protecting them. Remember, South Korea now has to give up their intercepted missile launchers for the Middle East. Kim Jong Un just said, ha ha, we're doing ballistic testing. Don't you think the people in South Korea right now are a little on edge? The people like Japan a little on edge? Do you call this strategic planning of some sort? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I am South Korea and I'm watching the United States not uphold their end of the bargain with regard to you're going to protect us as long as we're a good and faithful ally, everything's going to be fine. We're all powerful and all. And now Iran, who was not supposed to be, I guess, this powerful, if you call it that, they're not actually chopped liver. This ain't Iraq, apparently. This ain't Nigeria. This is not Syria. Well, Syria was a little problem, kind of, but it's not Syria either. These dudes are like unloading every day, every night, like they were actually waiting for this since 1980. I mean, they've been waiting to unload. The only question I ever had for the Middle East was how do they allow Gaza, Palestine, who took in Israel as refugees after World War II, the only country in the region that would allow refugees, the Polish refugees, the Russian refugees calling themselves Jews, they're the only ones. And then Israel does this. United States, Britain, they give these guys weapons so they can actually make sure they can defend themselves, right? But instead of defending themselves, they hold hostage Palestinians once they take down sections. Then they bomb the region. So they've been waiting since 1980, when the first 7980, when the Ayatollah regime took over from our installed Shah of Iran since 1953, who turned into a dictator. Shall we go down the history books? So when you do all that, you understand what's happening right now. And most people, if you're in the military, I'm not, but from a strategic standpoint, you would not do this. You would have not have done this at all, because Iran is also backed by Russia. Remember Russia? Russia, oh, fact, Russia's giving intelligence on US military to Iran, which you guys who like this don't think Trump has anything to do with Iran, with Russia. And Trump says it's okay. I'm like, what? It's okay. I'm like, what was his rationale? It's okay because we do it. I'm like, yeah, Ukraine is our ally. We told them just what we told the Middle East. Get rid of your nukes. We'll protect you. It's all good. Come on, man. So now Russia's giving intelligence to Iran against the US and Israel. And Trump says it's all good because we do it. You gotta love it. I love a draft dodger controlling the situation. US Army's coming. The Marines are coming. And by the way, since we've been talking about this, it was 2,200 Marines are where in or near Iran. I know they didn't set them up in the Strait of Hormuz. You know that's not happening. Okay, U.S. sending more than 2,200 Okinawa-based Marines to Middle East. U.S. Marines headed to Middle East have a lot of capability on the ground. What do man? This is crazy. 2,200 on the ground is not going to cut it, man. More U.S. Marines, warships being moved to Middle East. This is getting to be a full blown war. Then we're going to move up to $2 billion a day. You healthcare, non-healthcare for all country. Your tax rates and give tax cuts to the rich country. This is beautiful. The rich dudes don't have to pay for nothing. No, I shouldn't say nothing. The rich dudes pay less. We cover the rich guys who portion that didn't pay, and they get special benefits, such as Christy Nome gives a what $140 million government contract to a company that didn't even exist 2 weeks before they got the contract over other companies that are known entities. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All this stuff right here, man. This is all good. Taxpayers. This is why I always said you got to be with the big boys. Pay less taxes as you can. The only way you can do that is have businesses, real estate, things that you can write off and be in that realm. Otherwise, W 2, too bad, so sad. Okay. They also want you to do an LLC because it's a pass through entity. So if you make 100 G's profit, then you're going to pay 100 G's. So that's why you do the S Corp. So then you cut down from the 15.3 and you pay your S Corp taxes based on you're the employee of the company. You don't have the pass through. All right. So, and that works if you make over 50,000 a year. Otherwise, you might as well just do the pass through. All right. Um, it just says they're going to the Middle East. 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit sails from Japan with F-35 squadron. What? As Washington weighs options on Hormuz security and Iran's buried 60. What is that? 60%. By the way, U.S. deploys B-2 stealth bombers. Uh, we go. Ran 60% enriched uranium stockpile. Okay, so they know where it is. Hey, what happened here? I thought we got rid of all their nuclear stuff. So now we're claiming and I sure believe them. But B-2 stealth bombers, that means you have to pay the cost. That means we are at least Marines, 200 Marines moving. That transport group, that material that's going to be going over to the Middle East. Yes, we're at $2 billion along with the stealth bombers. So does that mean we're going to do what we did to Japan, Nagasaki? So that means we're going to drop something on the civilians so you can stop? Is that what they're going to do? But you guys don't understand. These guys are working on a whole different mindset. They're mortars. They got this funny thing everybody says, diversions. They're mortars. They're like they're not Americans. They've been under attack for a long time, centuries. They're used to this. and they're willing to die for their beliefs. So if that's your plan, um, to just lay waste like a Vietnam scenario, instead of in the jungles, you're going to lay waste to the deserts. Jeez. And that disrupts again the whole. This is a problem. This is a problem. Game over. Exactly. It's game over if they do that. Eric, I know you can explain the Trilateral Commission. No, I can't explain that. I can't. You're what Trilateral Commission are you talking about? I know what you're saying. Look at this. Let me just. You think that's in play? The Asia Pacific. Japan's not joining. Australia's not joining. South Korea's not coming. Are you talking about where they took the weapons? Yeah, okay, great. So what? South Korea now has a problem, along with Japan, along with, well, India, not so much. Australia, maybe. But all these guys, just like I said, if I take interceptor launchers out of your country with China and North Korea and Russia up the street, you do on if you're South Korea, what would you be doing right now? What would you be doing if you're South Korea and they took some launchers while North Korea is over there doing ballistic missile tests? And by the way, North Korea knows they you have less launchers. They may not know the exact amount, but they probably do. I mean, the United States isn't really, these guys don't believe in secrecy anymore. So they probably know exactly how many launchers, how many missiles. They probably have the inventory and everything. Just like the United States has to worry about their inventory in the Gulf. And South Korea probably gets their weaponry from, I would guess, majority USA. They might get some from UK. They might get some from other NATO allies, Germany or even Ukraine. How about this? Ukraine offered their drone and missile interceptors to Israel and USA, and they said no. Can you believe that? Which is more effective than ours, or the ones we have sitting there at the moment. They have other things that are more effective against the drones. It's the drones, not the missile, but the drones that Iran is using. Can you believe that somebody would do that? Wouldn't you be like, yeah, I need those? While I'm like, I don't understand. No, I don't know about the Trilateral Commission, by the way. I'm hitting up the Google, but as long as it's in Asia, that's I, I don't really care. Oh, they had a meeting. Nice. You know the meeting is worthless, right? If you're going to act like the big guy spending $1 trillion this year, we spent $1 trillion on the military. You're going to act like the world protector, the world police. And then now that you have one country, Iran, upsetting all of this, and that one country is against USA and Israel, and that one country has cut off supplies of oil to the world, nobody in their right mind would have attacked Iran. They're one of the few countries that could do this. And now you need the help of allies to get this under control. And nobody is saying we want to wipe out Iran. So all I can say is, David Jackson, please let me know what you are referring to, because we got to learn a little bit, because I don't understand what that has to do with the Middle East, other than the people under the Trilateral Commission is a little upset. Gig at work is about to be over. Gary Wall, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. I agree. Hey, hey, Yeah, you can't be roaming around on this planet right now talking about I'm going to stay over here. Because, like I said, when you have we already have a situation in the southern hemisphere with Venezuela, and we took their leader. So now, again, you guys who like the Trump guys, I'm just going to say, if we spent X amount of billions of dollars to go down there and get him, you understand there's a president Maduro, there's a VP that's a lady. You understand the VP and the whole regime is still in place. You get that, right? So then what was the reason to take Maduro? So the next question is, why then does Trump have a Qatari bank account? And why does he get to oversee a few hundred or thousand barrels and get to move money over into this Qatari bank account? Personal bank account. Asking for a country. You spent the money. You said you wanted regime change. You also said that they were responsible for drugs. But the same regime, same party is in place. United States oil companies are not going down to Venezuela because the crude is not that good. This is why Chevron has a deal with the existing refineries. United States companies are not going down there to build refineries. That is not a thing. So, what was that exercise for other than to upset the Southern Hemisphere, where you're going to have other countries going, raising an eyebrow, going, this rogue nation, it could be one of us they're lying on? Because everybody knows Venezuela does not do the drug game. There's going to be drugs coming from them, but not in the likes of Mexico, Colombia. They're not even in the same game. But they lied. And now here we go. So now we're doing something else in the southern hemisphere. We're over in the Middle East. Now you're over there in Asia. What do you think Taiwan's thinking right now? You're not protecting the people in the Middle East. So you have Taiwan and South Korea over there. China's over there already thinking about doing something in Taiwan. This would be the perfect opportunity because they know the US ain't going to do nothing. Trump ain't going to do nothing. He likes Xi. He likes China. He likes dictators. He ain't going to do nothing. But the US, we're going to be in a world of hurt. And by the way, all that protection stuff is out the window completely already. So now Taiwan's like, oh man, hey, we better get some new friends. We better get some weaponry. We better do something. Help. South Korea, help. We better get some new friends. I'm just saying, how many different places is this regime that we have gonna put fingers in people's eyes that are allies and then think that we're gonna protect them when we can't even protect the Middle East that everybody thought we could? Eric, Poland gave up all jets, tanks, and millions. This didn't help. Ukraine become more demanding. It's never gonna help. First of all, remember this. Of course, it's not going to help because Ukraine was under the impression that they are Israel. When the United States said, and the EU said, give up your weapons, they thought this was 1945, 44. The Allies are all on board together. No, wrong. What it that is the problem. Not going to help. No. First of all, you know what? Speaking of that, you know this is on the Poland. How many how much military uh, items did they have in 2023? Let's see. You know it's generally up there. Military weapons. They only spend $16 billion. That's it. Uh, how many missiles can hey F-35 fighters cost like a what $1 million, a billion, a million? No, they cost more than that. They only spend 16 billion. So if they have F-35s, Apache helicopters, and they're using South Korean K2 tanks, and they're using U.S. made Abram tanks, do you know how fast that $16 billion went? They don't have that much military items. And in fact, this is why Poland, Czechoslovakia, and other countries that border Ukraine have a problem. Because if you're not protecting Ukraine, you're not going to protect Poland. Russia knows this. This isn't even this is crazy right now. This is not even a question. So here we go. They had 96 Apache helicopters and hundreds of Abram battle tanks. And they have contracts for 32 F-35 jets. This was in 2023. So, seeing that Russia does have weaponry, you're going to need some of them have Apache helicopters, which, again, in my opinion, they're not all the best. These Abram battle tanks, again, I don't, they're sitting ducks if you don't have air superiority. And you didn't want to give the United States didn't want to give Ukraine the necessary missiles, defense systems. They give them second or third tier down, and then the other countries have to give them tier ones, tier twos. So again, they don't get to fight like Israel. They get to fight like it's 1990, 95. This is crazy right now. Small arms, they only got 35,000. Grot rifles in 2023. Large amount of equipment were transferred, prompting accelerated procurement. So in 2023, they gave up a lot of stuff. But now, after you give it up and realize the United States is not on board with fighting against Russia and apparently can't take Russia back to the borders with helping along with the EU, you guys can see what's going to happen. It's going down exactly as it should. The rest of the world is sitting there watching. And yes, Netanyahu's changed his name like more than half Polish corrupted government. EV place, he knows the situation. In fact, the prime ministers all were from Poland except for two. They are descendants of Poland. So I'm talking about over the last like 30 years, by the way, 30, 40 years. I'm not talking about the like Netanyahu and the one before. We're talking about 10 of them. So to give everybody see, people don't realize these are not Jews from the Bible. They are not from Palestine. They're fake Jews. I always said this. People were like, why do you keep calling them fake Jews? Because they're not Jew. They're from Poland and Russia. Let's get real. And like I said, the only country that allowed the refugees in was Palestine. The Arab countries around all said, hell no. They're not from here. What are you doing right now? Palestine. And then what does Palestine get for it? Killed children. And then people turn around in America and around the not in America. They're terrorists. They're calling the people getting bombed, held captive, open air detention camp, Palestine, Iran getting bombed, all these guys getting taken out from the Middle East by the US and their allies and all this. Then they want to retaliate. They want to wave the flag and burn it, right? Again, I implore everybody to think about if there was a country that bombs us, wipes out your grandparents and your parents and your brother and your sister, aunts, uncles, everything, you're not going to grow up thinking that country that did this is fine. Just like right now, when 9/11 happened 25 years ago, people to this day still say Iraq did it, even though that's a lie, still have feelings about their bad guys. Anything you say, they have terrorists, like Iran has terrorists, right? You are feeling emboldened to say, well, we need to wipe them off the map. But the fact of the matter is, if that was in reverse, you think when you grow up watching your whole city crumble, level to the ground, your whole 2 million people devastated, 3 million. How many out of those 2, 3, 4 million people do you think is going to harbor ill will for the rest of their life? Yeah, damn right. I think I would too. And that's where the problem comes in. So now you call them terrorists after you terrorize them. That's wild work, nasty work if you can get it. So that's where this all goes. And Netanyahu or the Polish guys, remember, descendants of the EU? Poland used to be a part of Russia. Okay. They acted like it is. And the US backed these guys for the since 1946, or by the agreement in the first place to put Israel in the middle of Palestine. They didn't ask. They just said, hey, we're going to put this landmass here that's going to be called Israel. Kind of like make it like the fake one in the Bible. Come on. Stop. Stop. Okay, guys. Here we go. I like the laughing trophy. Okay, now you write on that part about real estate and duplexes. FERT 8740. There you go, man. That's it. Anybody starting out new? 400 degrees. Angels, nup, 7. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Very happy to see you, my man. Coming down, watching TV, Eric, on the screen. Common man. Thank you. Hey, they should have never let us out. Don't worry, they're going to block it after this conversation. Eric, do you remember Friday? I've told you about the XRPM, 10%. Thanks. Stay true. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Eric, do you remember Friday? Told you about the XRPM. Yes, you did. Now, let's see what we're talking. Oh, that ETF is the XRPM. ETF stock price. What is it? Give it to me. Let's see. Let's see what you're working with. Okay. Well, it doesn't tell me anything. Okay, no, 316. Where's the chart at? Amplify, XRP, 3% monthly option income ETF. Last week, price was 16, approximately. The fun is, okay, hold on. Why can't I get this? I want to see what happened. So are you saying it went up to $16 or something? Back to 16? Because I think 10% would be that, right? Because last week it went down to 15 something. So no, I thought it was. This is XRP ETF. I thought it was XRP. It was. Something's wrong. Why is it? What's the? Hold on. Hold on a second. What are we having issues? We're having issues. Okay, let's go look. Let's see what's going on. XRPM. Why aren't I getting this? This isn't coming up. Oh, here we go. $16.28. Here we go. It started, it's 8.03% today. It says high 1637, low 1585. So, okay, 8 to 10% today. But hold on. Here's what we got. The last 5 days, 8.97%. This won't be good. This last month, down 2.4%. So, same ballpark, except it was. So we're getting back to almost where it was, 16.68, February 17th, a month ago. But it's been going up and down. A trader's dream. Investors should rejoice because even if you were able to trade that, you would be making money going up and down every other day. It seems like up, down, every trading session. Every day it's making a move. Up, down, pretty much. except for today, it went up. It leveled off after hours. So does that mean it's going to come down tomorrow? Hey, it's worth watching. So EV Place, what do you do? What do you do? Wiser than most, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Investors, are you out here rejoicing? The up, the downs. You should be making moves. And if the stock market does crumble, remember last week it went down 1,000, then it went up 600, right? Those movements down, you probably should buy because NVIDIA made an announcement today, $1 trillion in orders for Blackwell and something else I never even knew they had. Something like a V27 or something like this. Um, that's pretty interesting. Vera Rubin is what it's called. VR. Vera Rubin. 1 trillion in orders for Blackwell. And remember, Blackwell came out December. The fact of the matter is, in order to stay ahead of the game, they're going to have a new program, probably this December as well. So it's going to be very interesting how they do this. And in the meantime, you're up against a clock, AI clock for supremacy. Remember this, while the whole chip industry is funneling their orders into NVIDIA, and by default, because they are getting the best chips, their stock price also increases. So if you think the tech stocks are going to go down, you got another thing coming. All right. It's not going to happen. This right here is crazy if you really think about it. It's awesome. NVIDIA adds Hyundai, BYD, and other automakers to self-driving tech business. You see what's happening here? NVIDIA is getting huge. And they're just going to get a little bit bigger. That means their stock price should have had a little pump today. And just think, these guys are still buying back their own shares of stock to also increase the price. So, what is going to happen in VGA? 190 or 180? It's 183, 19. That's what it closed at today. What's our advance? I can't believe it. AMD is at 196. Their stock is valued higher, which is very, very interesting. It's very interesting how their stock is mirroring NVIDIA, even though NVIDIA gets all the headlines. But anyhow, you can't dismiss NVIDIA at any time. You should be holding NVIDIA or buying, and especially since it's still under $200. And since the military is out here disposing of all type of missiles and launchers and vehicles, everything that's going to need their Blackwell and some chips that's going to be on the high performance arena. Just think about it. They are friends. Remember, he sucked up to Trump, brought him a gift in the Oval Office, went over to the EU or somewhere with him to talk with companies or countries. So NVIDIA's the chosen one. So I don't know how you don't have investment. All right, now senators are getting high and the plan against ghetto backfired. You got that right. You got that right. Yep. Can't even take no days off, scriptwriter. I hear you, man. You can't. You can't, whether you're stock market trading or at the job. Can't take no days off or any investing. You got to pay attention out here. Okay, hello all. Oh my, welcome to the SSN Nation, the Real Grit Report. Very nice to see you in the house. And brings a tagline, hello all, hello to you. Thank you. Nice seeing you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. I've gone off script because we had people in here saying they don't know what facts are about what Trump is doing with Russia, what Trump is doing to the United States, what Trump is doing to bring Marines in, what Trump is doing asking for help from our EU partners after you did not ask for help to get any info about Iran from our EU partners and our NATO partners. So once again, you have to understand the game out here. But the game is ours because while Trump is doing all this, this is your time because no other president would create this volatility. The Middle East would be standard. Israel would be doing what they're doing. You'd make an announcement saying, no, man, that ain't right. But meanwhile, not doing anything to stop it. But that's understandable in the Middle East. My question about the Middle East, again, was always, why are you guys letting Israel do this? Is there any nation over there that's going to be like, hold on, man? But there never was until now. You attacked the wrong guys. Those guys are now making moves, which now puts risk on the whole region, because if you guys aren't paying attention, you know who the liberators are? Okay, first of all, does anybody know about the UAE? You guys know about the Indian workers, slave labor from Africa, slave labor from India? Keep them in tents, takes their passports, IDs, stuff like this. You got you guys know about that, right? Okay. So when the UAE expands and took over other regions, nobody says anything, right? Well, you guys are thinking Iran attacks UAE. Why? Because they're friends of the United States, but they get a two for it. The UAE now has to defend themselves. And now the rebels from other countries that the UAE has screwed over are now attacking the UAE, because the UAE has less defenses, because now they have to deal with Iran. So it looks like Iran is acting like a liberator, depending on what side of the fence you're on. Think about this. Palestine's over there thinking, oh man, thank God somebody's actually bombing the oppressor. And they're treating them like they've been treating Palestine for the last 70 years. They're over there like, oh my God, finally. They got something else to worry about instead of bombing us and our family and lineage into oblivion. There's a lot of other things going on that if you're in the United States, you don't even understand. So the rest of the world is sitting there benefiting from Iran attacking all of these military bases and these other countries, because those oppressors are part of the United States Israel system, because they're friends of ours. So this oppressor thing is not just because the US has oppression, the EU has oppression for Africa and all that. There's other oppressors and they're friends of the US. And again, if you're friends of my enemy, I'm just saying, you ain't no friend of mine. That's how it works, especially when you're killing my family. You can't be friends with me. Mo Better, another investor's here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Mo Better on their real estate investment tips. Welcome. Nice to see you once again, man. What's up, SSN Nation? What's up, E? We in the building. Very happy to see you once again. We're on the 3-hour podcast tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. If you like what I'm talking about, please subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be shadow banned for the next year. That's all I know. This is out here being crazy. But very nice to see you, Mo, in the house. I'm waiting about that DR investing. And oh, by the way, if you guys still don't have that Bankus app, make sure you download Bankus. Why? A broke country means they need your money eventually. If none of you have ever had money stolen out of a bank, stolen from your brokerage account, I get it. You don't care. But we have history. If you pay attention to what happened in the 1930s when a broke country was doing tariffs and all this other nonsense, then you'll understand banks took everybody's money. It's a bank holiday. People, there was no ATMs. So if the bank was closed, they can't get money out. So for the rest of those people's lives who lived in that era, the bank was the enemy. That's why the money was under mattresses, in walls. You've heard the stories where people said, yeah, we were remodeling and we found money in the walls, in the floors, in the ceilings, in the attics. That's because of what happened during the Great Depression when people's hard earned money was gone. Can't pay your bills, your house is gone. And your homes were already humble homes to begin with. So, where can you go? No jobs. Job losses were everywhere, just like now. So, once again, you know the playbook. You know what, though? People still invested in the stock market, even though it went down dramatically. Even though it kept going up a little, down a little, up a little, down even more. 3 years, 4 years. But people who could actually trade, they were still making money. People who could be flipping it around, they're making money. But the people who relied on a job, no jobs in sight. And they wouldn't even let you become a union member. They would stop you from unionizing. Union busters everywhere to get higher wages, better pay, weekends off. Do I have to work 7 days a week? Come on now. We don't want to do that. Come on. But that's what people died for. So you can work 5-day weeks. From the rich guys. Remember the rich guys? Yeah, you know, the rich guys. They're going to make factories. They're going to make sure you have a livable wage job. They're going to make sure you have health care. They're going to make sure you're all good. No, they didn't want none of that. They wanted you to work 7 days a week. And oh, by the way, kids, why go to school? Hell, you need to be down here in the mine. You can fit through these little holes. You're only 8 years old. We don't care about that black lung you're about to have in about 10, 20 years from now. You'll be helping your family out. Don't go to school. You don't need to. We got you covered. And by the way, here's your script. Here's your script. Go up to the wait. What's the script? Oh, you can only use it at our store. Wait, what? What are you talking about? I need money. Oh no, here, look, it says our mining company. Here's your money. Wait, where can I spend this at? At the company store. What? That costs too much. I don't want to buy at the company store. I need money. Oh, I'm sorry. Take this script and get out of here. I need some clothes. Oh, go to the company store with the script. You're not going to let that money leave. You getting how this works, ladies and gentlemen? You think you out here having freedom? You're buying what they set up for you to buy. It's that simple. By the way, nobody's coming to save you. SSN Nation Gear at StopStrugglingNow.com. Just saying. A shameless plug. All right, but get your cards from Bankus, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room. All right, don't be shy out here. I'm pretty sure after I went on this rant, Eric, go ahead and get the chip. I'm not getting the chip, man. You can forget that. Eric, it says the candlestick link has been suspended when you click on the link. Uh-oh. What's happening? What's going? Uh-oh. Did I not hit something? Uh-oh. Stop. Struggling. Now.com. Oh, hold on now. Uh-oh. That's not good. Now he's got to go make me look. Let's see. Something happened. Something down. Uh-oh. Candlestick Trading Bible. Not good. Here we go. Let me go look. Let's see. Hold up. Thank you for letting me know, man. That's weird. Let me go see what's happening. Oh, I know what happened. Hold on a second. Yeah. It could be. I could have a monthly issue. Yeah. I had a problem with my GoDaddy situation. Oh, yeah. Thank you for letting me know, man. We can get this handled in a second. I had to change my hosting. So they don't have. I recently had to do that because these guys got out of control. These guys popped up and said, oh, yeah, we're going to charge you an extra like 30%. I was like, hold up, man. No, I'm not with that. But thank you for letting me know. Oh, and by the way, thank you for letting me know. I got to remember something else too. Now that we're at it. So we got to get this hooked up. Thank you, Mo. After I've been giving it out, you're the only person that let me know. Unless this happened recently, but I don't think it was recent. What's the month? Day 317, possibly. But thank you for letting me know. All right. We'll get that straight in about 5 minutes. All right. Here we go. Crypto is going to come back strong. Mo better. I agree with this 110%. You know who owns crypto, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's not you. Who's been positioning? First of all, once again, this is not rocket science. Thank you so much, Mo, because again, I'm going to say the banker's card. It's in Mexico City. Don't miss the 8 p.m. Again, the 8 p.m. That's what you want to watch. The 8 p.m. 2 p.m. is not going to be going on the Zoom call tomorrow. But all I'm asking you is to download the link. You don't have to order the card if you don't want to. They're still under maintenance. But tomorrow at 8 p.m., we're going to find out more because they're going to be in Mexico City on this Zoom call. They allow you to ask questions. They're not muting. You get to raise your hand. They go one by one to answer questions. That's right. That's what a company should do if you're on a Zoom call, right? They should not be blocking comments. They should not be doing none of that. They don't do that because their card actually works. Used to work, okay? Because it's under maintenance right now. So you can't use your card or it's going to be intermittent. Either way, you can't activate a new card either, by the way, right now. But you still have a digital card. And oh, by the way, you can send people money on the card and all that. Crypto is coming back strong. I agree. And if you guys aren't buying the crypto at 68,000, 65,000, 71,000, 73,000, you're missing out. Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy, now known as Strategy, they took advantage, $75 million at $73,000 per Bitcoin. And by the way, back to you guys know who owns crypto. When the rich guys were out here saying in the 2013, 2014, 2015, remember what they said? They said crypto's bogus. It's not nothing. Don't buy it. Why are people buying it? Yada, 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 right? Remember that? Remember Jamie Dimon saying it, right? The biggest bank CEO saying, oh man, crypto's garbage. Don't do it. It's going to go to zero, yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden he's employing a whole bank of people to actually come out with their own coin and all this crazy. It was so they could amass the crypto themselves. Okay, what is this? What is this? One lost phone away from him. What? What is this? What are they doing to me now? They're doing something crazy right now. They just what? No. I don't want to do none of this. What are you guys out here doing? Okay, they've did some other crazy stuff. Okay. See, this is why I don't even like any of this. They're just sitting here blocking. Uh-oh, something went. What? Okay, they're doing all too much. Oh, I see what they want me to do. They're telling me to add another setup later. They're telling me to add another verification method. Dude, if somebody wants to pay the bill, they can have it. I mean, like, that's all they're going to be doing. All right. So I lost my train of thought. But anyhow, the crypto, ladies and gentlemen, that's what the rich guys were doing. So that was a sign for you to buy. And obviously it went from, hundreds of dollars to tens of thousands, 13, 17,000, 40,000, 50,000, all the way up to 126,000. While these guys are saying, don't buy it. And now they've positioned themselves in it. All these ETFs now, and JP Morgan even owning Bitcoin, this is just insane. All right. Speaking of that, dividends, JEPQ, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And I saw something else. What about resistant bands versus lift weights? No. Citizen Real Citizens Real, Israel, I guess. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Lift weights, no resistance bands. The reason why I say, first of all, resistant bands, since they're resistant, you have a range of motion, right? And okay, just like if you just move in and out, that's just resistance. Okay, that's fine. It's still going to work. But when you lift actual dumbbells or weights, your body also has to balance while you're lifting, right? That matters. That's why when you use machines, your muscles form differently than if you use weights. So I prefer weights. I mean, I don't mind the machines, for curls, but then you go to the dumbbells too. I always say do both, but do not just do one. You got to do the dumbbells for some motions. All right. That actually helps your muscles build faster. Okay. L-citrulline is excellent. Mo better. It depends. As long as you're not on any drug, uh, blood pressure, uh, blood pressure medication. But I would go with just go with the watermelon or something. But then some people might not like watermelon. All right. Robert Lee, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. You talking to guys that don't know what they're talking about. Keep up the good work. You know what you is going on. You know what's going on. Exactly, Robert Lee. Thank you so much, man. That's why I don't like to talk about it that much, but I'm not, I'm down with talking about it because if you guys understand what's happening, this affects you as an investor. And you can always make moves when you know the information, right? That's what I want you guys to understand. You always got to pay attention to what the rich guy's doing and what your government's doing. You can always take advantage of what they're doing without having to take the high risk. You let the rich guys do all their high risking, they get to make all the money, but you have a way to infiltrate it. And the stock market is one of those ways. Even if you're just doing a 401k, at least control your own, have your own solo 401k. You still get a tax write off for your solo 401k, right? Up to married couples into the 20,000s, 26, 24,000. So take advantage. In fact, since we're talking about this, why don't we just go into how about you have an LLC or a corporation? And how about you have your LLC get a brokerage account, EIN number, brokerage account? You work as an employee for your LLC or corporation, right? Your corporation has its own 401k fund. You can go see Schwab because their TD Ameritrade turned into Schwab. So they actually, in my opinion, have a better. You can go to Fidelity, whatever. You get your company to have a 401k. You make the rules. You have to make money though. Your company makes the money. You say, I want to match 3%. Don't get crazy. IRS is going to come be like, hey, man, you can't give 20% match. All right. So don't even think about it. All right. But just do 3%, 4%. You can match. So now your company has a 401k. You work, you make money, you deposit into your you have a 401k within your company, you deposit into your 401 account, which is your company's 401k account. You match, but make sure that you write your articles and you say, we have a 3% match after a person works here for 2 months. Whatever you want to do, it's your business. You write the rules. But you can't do 10, 20, 30% match. You can only do single digits. 5% or less is what I would suggest. Get a financial planner if you need to. But the point is, now you have two ways to put money into a 401k. You can maximize more money in, and by all means, your wife is either an owner, an employee of a company, another person that's working there. You get to match hers too. But you got to make money, of course. Just saying. Dangerous out here, ladies and gentlemen. Dangerous. But again, Go to Fidelity, for instance. In fact, you know what? Why am I even telling you guys? Oh, first, I got something to do, though. Hold on, because I can't have this situation with the products. Let me go look at something. I kind of blew it because these guys pissed me off last month. So I kind of blew it. So I rearranged some things which they can't do anymore because I didn't realize what they were doing because I was doing auto stuff. Just like, by the way, I had Robinhood Gold, which I no longer want or need. Because, like I said, I'm doing some other things because I like taking profits. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's get this handle right now. What's going on? Oh, whoa, hold up. What's this? Are we serious right now? Okay, what's this? Are we serious? You're not giving me any info, ladies and gentlemen. Just a minute. I got a serious situation in my back office. But just remember, I lost my train of thought right now, but I appreciate that, Robert Lee. Thank you guys so much. But a toxic wife is a life sentence. You got that right, Fert. Oh, once again, man, don't even get me started on this. You got that right. A toxic wife, it's game over. Because if you live in a community property state, that means all assets accumulated while you're married means you can't just off and be like, this is mine, unless it was written already beforehand. Like real estate, for instance, says she's already signed off that you're the sole owner of the real estate you purchased, or that brokerage account that's already signed off. Hey, you got that right. And that's for life. And if you get divorced, now you got an IOU potentially in more ways than one. If you have children, you got 18, 12, 5, whatever years up until in some states 23, 24, 25, 26 if they go to college. So, like I say, for very good point, man. Very good point. Your partner matters. Your partner matters big time. The term Democratic plantation is on crack. Real as 1766. I don't know what you mean. GOP's on crack. GOP has the presidency, the Senate, and the House. You should be happy. You should be happy. You got the Epstein files released unredacted. You should be no, sorry, forgot about that. Lower prices. You should be oh wait, forgot about that. Wait, day one. I can stop the war in Ukraine so we don't have to spend money. We can give you health care. Oh wait, sorry. Oh wait, I got Trump care. I already got that. Oh wait, hold no, that ain't it either. Wait a minute. What do you mean the plantation? So you want to be part of the 10% if you're a black person? Okay, you can be part of the 10%. Just remember your ancestors died for you to be talking like this when you have the other side of the fence trying to bring it back Jim Crow, trying to make sure you can't vote. They fought and died for that. That ain't the plantation. The plantation is the side that is now the red states in the South that they're doing what they did 100 years ago, 130. Remember, black people can't own land. Or if you did own land and they come and kill you, like in Tulsa, like in Tulsa, Central Park, Seneca Village, or just let water run over like Lanier Lake in Georgia, outside of Atlanta. The thriving black cities. There's so tons of those. They want to go back to that's why they keep using laws like 1878, 1910. That's why they're using those laws, right? Because they're protecting the black people and Latino people and Mexican people, the Asian people. They want to get rid of civil rights. Why? Don't you want it fair for everybody? Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You want to do that? Cool. Well, guess what? The GOP plantation, they're all for you going back to 1910, Jim Crow. live on the other side of the tracks, all that jazz. Don't own land, property. Oh, that job, man. Hey, boy, get off the sidewalk. I'm walking by. I can see it right now. Don't worry. I know the ilk. Get off the plantation, but you're going to be the first one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't look at me, boy. Don't look me in the eye, boy. Oh, wait a minute. Or are you going to be the first one when the night riders come? You're going to be the first one standing out there to defend? Is that going to be you? Come on now. But I tell you this. I tell you this. Uh, Not everybody has the will to die. So that's why you have people comply. But if you want to willingly go back to 1960, 1950, 1930, have at it. Just move to Mississippi or something. Come on. Go live in Texas too or something. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? just go live in the South somewhere. I mean, go live in Florida or something, man. I don't know what to tell you if you like it so much. Go live in those places, man. All right? Don't be walking down the street in a new development, doing what people do when there's a new development, walking in, going to check out the place because you might be strung up down the way. You know, I mean, hey, it's America. Anything can happen in America. It doesn't matter where you live, right? But you know the plantation I live on, well, hey, um, it's all good. I don't want to go back to 1950s. I want to go back to 1960s. I don't want what my parents lived through. I don't want that for anybody. I don't want none of that. If you call that I don't know, man. I don't know what that's like, man. I like civil rights. I like being able to vote. I like to be able to have an opinion. I like being able to just walk down the street and mind my own business until some fool walks up and be like, which doesn't happen, but let's say it did, get off the sidewalk or something. Don't you see I'm coming? You know, come. I don't like confrontation like that because I don't have the fight or flight mentality. I have the fight or fight mentality. That's what the problem is. I know my limitations. You should know yours. And talking like you're going to be big, bad, and tough when the situation comes up, it's comical. I've seen so many people talk mess until something comes up. That's not a thing. People talk all good game until they're in the situation and now they're surrounded, and all of a sudden I think I'll be all right and I'm going to comply. There's some people that don't comply. And that's why you have first, amendments that were added to the Constitution, because some people felt that it was worth dying for. So you can sit here and talk like you actually live on a plantation when nobody here lives on a plantation. So at least you have a free will to vote for whoever you want and back whoever you want. But on my watch, I'm not going to sit here and act like 1960 was a good year for black people, or 1940 or 1920 or 1910 or 1810. And anybody that's an enemy of my enemy is a friend of mine. So anybody that says, Eric, I get to move forward. And by the way, I don't really care about those guys that are sitting there trying to hold you down. But hell, even if we're in the minority, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to at least try to not let them hold you down. You're a friend of mine. But I ain't rocking with people that's like wanting to go back to 1960. I'm sorry. 1940, 1950, then calling other people on a plantation when you have a government right now trying to block you from voting under the guise of a SAVE Act. 146 million people don't have a passport. That means 146 million people can't vote. What do you think is going to happen when you're trying to get a passport for 10, 20, 30, 40 million people? You think they come in a week or 2 weeks or a month? And by the way, it costs $165, I believe, or $150, somewhere in that range to get a passport. And by the way, you're going to need some other documents. What if you don't have those other documents? So by default, that's going to eliminate X amount of people from voting. First of all. Second of all, that's 146 million people that would have to get a passport. By our Constitution, because I'm on the plantation of the Constitution, that means that's a poll tax. That's against our Constitution. So you want to bypass that too, right? Okay. Get what you pay for. Be careful what you want. Women, 79 million women have been married. The SAVE Act. Your passport better match your name on your birth certificate. Married women who changed their name, there's 79 million of them, would now have to go through court to get their name changed. And oh yeah, you know court, how expeditious they are. You're going to be able to go change your name next week, right? Come on, man. Okay, so now after you eliminate 79, well, not 79 million, but let's just say, 50 million women won't in time be able to vote because they are not the 146 million people that need a passport. And you know what happens? Just like it's 1960, 1950, it's a miracle. It's like somebody already has a playbook. They go down and say, oh, we're going to eliminate places where you get passports. Imagine that. Libraries no longer is going to issue passports. U.S. post offices no longer are going to be there all day, every day, 5 days a week to issue or apply for passports, take the applications. Imagine that. That's how they used to stop people from voting, because they would move the polling places way far away from where you live so you couldn't get there. Just saying. On the plantation I'm on, I'm trying to avoid all that. I'm trying to make sure you good. You get a voice. No taxation without representation. All right, enough of the fun and games. It ain't fun and games out here. You guys don't know what country you live in. Apparently, still to this day, we got too many people out here don't understand. But okay, by the way, um, the women did their part. 93% of women, black women, voted for Kamala. I think it was 83% of black men voted for Kamala. Combined, 10% of black people voted for Trump. So if you wanted to be part of the 10%, it's your prerogative. You get exactly what you paid for. Oh, by the way, who do you think, which nationality do you think had the most amount of federal workers? Black people. So when they said we're going to fire all the federal workers and bring in our own, and we hate DEI, what do you think that did? Right. Just like it's 1950. It's all based on merit. Right. What plantation are you talking about right now, man? Stop this nonsense out here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got some individuals who are still want to be part of the 10 percenters. It's okay. It's all right. You have your prerogative to do whatever you want to do. But again, I have my channel, and I'm glad you're here. We love conversation, right? So don't worry. You can always have the conversation, but please come with some more facts that you claim I'm on a plantation. You give me the good side of where you're on. Because again, all these promises about all this stuff, all this turned into is watching black people and minorities getting hurt. Black people and minorities, pictures off of walls in the White House. Your guys. on your plantation, making sure minorities aren't seen, minorities getting fired in the military at high levels so they're not seen, military personnel reduced to outside duties that aren't going to be seen. You are in that situation that my parents and your grandparents, whoever did military service, had to live with. And you over here co-signing for these dudes right now. Why? Why? Because you're one of the good ones like Byron Donald, Tim Scott. What does that do for them? As soon as the administration comes and uses them, oh, yeah, okay, we don't have no spots for you, really. And now Byron Donald's in Florida, F around and found out when he's running for governor, all that shucking and jiving, he's still like, he got somebody who ain't even running ahead of him in the polls. I mean, come on, man. What did you expect? As long as you on that side of the fence, they down with you. As long as you're taking away our rights, they're down with you. As long as you talking mess like Nicki Minaj, down with you until you find out that you have a fake fake. It was an honorary document. You thought you were getting your immigration status upgraded, and now Trump came out and said it's a fake document. After you say he's the best president ever, I'm from Trinidad or Tobago, whatever and now she comes to find out she should be deported. But because she kissed ass, she won't be. What plantation you talking about? It seems like the plantation you guys on, you got to kiss a lot of ass. You got to shuck and jive. I'm not the one to shuck and jive with right now. I've been kicking ass, taking names, defending my whole life ever since I found out what they were doing down in the South. Because my upbringing is middle class. I was lucky. My dad was in the military and an officer, no less. By hook or crook, he had to do studies. He had to do everything. They switched up. Hey, he was an NCO dude at first, thinking I'm just going to, help our government and all that, all good. But then he realized, wait a minute, I'm not going to make enough money if I want to have a family. So you know what he does? He goes to school. So since it's back in the like 1940s and 50s and stuff, you know what happens? They go, oh no, we can't have this brother going to school. Hold on, this young man trying to do something. Hey, you're going to be on the night shift now. Huh? I got school after I get off. I got evening classes. Yeah, we know. You're on the night shift now. Uh, okay. You guys know how school goes, right? Your classes get cut off at a certain time. You can't change classes. You know that, even back then. So they say, oh, yeah, we're going to mess him up. Okay, they did temporarily. But of course, he didn't give up because, he's not on the plantation. He says, all right, I see you. I guess I'll just have to do this a different way. I'll just have to go to classes next semester, next quarter. But when promotions come up, they're like, hey, you passed all the tests. You're number one, number two. But we'll get you next time. Because the dumbass from Oklahoma, white dude, we got to make sure that we can take care of him. Oh, yeah. You want to go back to that, right? You just want to give it up. Any progress made. So now when he becomes an officer, you know what happens? Luckily for him, you don't know because he worked at the Pentagon. But don't worry, he's just an ordinary government, military person working at the Pentagon. So a few years later, because he worked at the Pentagon, down the line, because he moves up as an officer, he gets to command units. So he goes over to another military base, Travis Air Force Base in California. And when he gets there, the commander of the base says, I'm trying to promote a lieutenant. My dad's higher ranked than him. My dad looks at him like, huh? So I want you to assist the lieutenant so I can give him a promotion later. So I'm going to give him your spot. Of course, Dad's not on the plantation, luckily. He says, oh no, what you talking? That ain't going to happen. You better find me a spot. I'm not doing that. So they move him over to commander of the flight line unit. So now, because he's one of the few black officers people have seen, the brothers are the mechanics, right? They're the ones on the flight line doing all that stuff for the most part, right? Majority minorities. They find out, what? A black dude is commander of our unit? Are you kidding? Guess what? He ain't Thomas. He ain't Tim Scott. He ain't Byron Donaldson on that plantation. He's on the one where, hold on, that's right. You know what these guys did? He didn't do anything. They just were so happy to see a black officer. These guys went to his office, built him the best office on the base, gave him his plaques, best of everything, because they were so happy. The commander comes down to my dad's office. He starts looking around like, wait, what's happening? What's going on here? Your office is nicer than mine. What? He's like, wow, okay. Nothing he could do, nothing he could say. You know what happens when black people used to come up and still to this day come up for their promotions? They get passed over. My dad's in the promotion team. I don't know what to call it. Not on his watch. You could have been like Tim Scott. You could have been like the guy sitting in the Supreme Court. Yeah, nah, I'm going to go along with you guys. They shouldn't get promoted. Nope, not on his watch. He says, nah, guys, not going to happen. Dude qualifies. We ain't going to go over him. He's getting promoted. You know what comes next? The guys all of a sudden come to his office. And they said, I don't know what the hell's going on, but you just got 3 people promotion. And this unit has had no promotions in the last 3 years. And you telling me you want to shuck and jive with this Trump clown nonsense? Go ahead, be a 10%er. But I ain't going to be one. Ever. And these mediocre chumps who try to help their mediocre chumps, and you let it pass. When you know, as a black person in a minority, you ain't never been no DEI. Everything you had to do was go to school, be better, try to be better than they were, try to be better than the best. And that still wasn't good enough. AK Kamala Harris. AK Obama. Harvard. Wife Harvard, but to this day still talk bad about him. Tried to get you health care for all, but you on the side of the fence that said, nah, we can't have that because that's going to help black people and minorities. Sure, it's going to help white people too, but we can't have black people and minorities getting health care for all. Let's get real. We trying to hold them down. In fact, we already put in the medical books that their body's different than ours, so we have to give them different medications that we're going to give us, so we can make them sicker than us. You better get with the program out here talking about which plantation you on. You better understand who's who. But you could be a 10 percenter because you live in America. You're free to choose. You can vote right now, unless you're removed off the voter rolls within 60 days and you don't know about it, which you know a lot of these GOP states like to do for minority voters. That's why Trump had to get the Fulton County voter rolls. Wonder why? Why would you do that? Because you know federal governments aren't federal. I mean, federal elections aren't federal. States run elections, so there's no reason. In fact, it's against our Constitution because the federal government is not supposed to run elections to avoid any impropriety. So again, that's my little rant for this time. If we want to go down this memory lane and all this stuff, I can't get into it because again, I lived through watching people in the South. When my dad went to Vietnam, I saw what black people were going through on the black side of town when they went to the other side of town and you got white people calling them the N-word. And what could they do? Because the KKK, the Night Riders, backed him up. But luckily for me, the people in this little small town in Florida weren't like these sorry ass people right now, down with these dudes that's oppressing them. They were down with, hold up, you ain't coming to our neighborhood. We ain't afraid of this nonsense y'all doing. Night Riders don't get to come and parade in our streets. We got problems. You got problems. Now go back to your side of town and go sit your behind down. It ain't none of this we moving out the way doing all this garbage. That was for your ass. And you giving it away. Man, it's sad. But like I said, just like I always said to everybody, being from Cali, when people always up and acting bad, big, bad, 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 I'd be like, man, just stop acting like Hollywood. Real life is different because you're going to act different when the heat is on. Are you really going to stand up to 5 people in front of you calling you the N-word, telling you to get out the way? Oh, we going to lynch you tonight? What you going to do? You better be running your ass away because 5 against 1, odds are. Or are you going to be like, go get the one down the street. He's on the plantation, not me. I'm with you, man. We good. Come on, man. Stop this. Stop this nonsense out here. All right. If you think it's for you, great. Just go be you. But at least we got 90% of black people who ain't going to be sitting here rocking with the nonsense because people died for your freedom to feel however you want to feel. So we can't disrespect you for feeling how you want to feel, but I can feel a certain way because I know people died for what you are trying to turn us back into with helping them, which is even worse, you know? All right, let's go. Uh, I got into this conversation. I messed up because I got to get back on track with this thing because I'm going to be on a 4-hour tour tonight. All right. Um, it's said, oh, that's right. You can't. That's funny. Oh, this is beautiful to watch. No, you can't do this right now. Oh, you have to understand. I had to actually change some stuff in the background for payments, and I didn't pay. That's why it says it's not. And I put it on a different thing so I could actually manually pay attention. This is funny, but this is weird. Why do I have 2 of these? I have 2 of these. Uh-oh, this doesn't make sense. This isn't going to work. Oh, no, man. I kind of messed up. Okay. Here. Let's go. No, this isn't going to work, man. This will work. All right. Let's go. It'll be up in like 2 minutes, I believe. Nope, not up. Uh-oh. This is crazy. Even I can't remember where it is. Oh, yes, I can. We got 2 more times. Hold on a second. Let's see. There we go. Okay. This better not be the wrong account, which I don't think it is, because that's the one that expired. It says it's not. Okay, that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now you can get your candles. Well, hold on. Let me double check this though. Let's see how far, if it came back. Now you're going to be able to get your candlestick, or are we? Uh-oh. Can't be. Guess not. It's not April 9th, so what is that? So that means there's something else going on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like that candlestick trading Bible is going to have to be after I hang up because I got to call them and find out what's up. Yeah, I've just did it again and again. It's not happening. So, candlestick trading Bible, be up tomorrow. Let's just put it that way. Or in the next hour after I'm done because I've been on here 3 hours and 56 minutes. All right. We'll wrap this up. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe to the channel. We'll talk about this on Wednesday, not this, something else, because we're going to find out what's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 days with the war efforts, the fury that's not epic. And we're going to find out, and then we'll make decisions based on what's been happening. And some of you will be paying attention today and tomorrow and the next day. And so you'll be ahead of the game, but make sure you're ahead of the game. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, and it's only going to get harder. Prices are going to go up, and we already have 80% of the population living paycheck to paycheck. So that means it's going to move to 82, 83, 84, 85%. And there's no way around it as we lose jobs because transportation costs more. Transportation businesses are going out of business. Continuing loss of jobs for manufacturing going out of business because cost of doing business costs more. Insurance is going to cost more. Energy bills are going to cost more. Oil and gas is going to cost more. So energy is going to cost more. There's no way around it. And you don't get the benefit of the doubt. So just keep that in mind. Why do they have 2 accounts on my account? But anyhow, with all that said, no matter what you do out here, just make sure you stay safe because you never know who the enemies are, why people are doing certain things. And whatever you do, stay calm under duress and stress because a lot of people are under stress and duress and they can do unpredictable things. So put yourself in position so you don't have to deal with it if you can. But if you can't, then the better part of valor oftentimes is not to engage because you have something to lose. So remember that. Keep your head up. And I'm out.